Welcome to the story of you, 15 cosmic facts that shaped your existence. Tonight, we'll drift through whispers of stardust and ancient light. 15 gentle revelations that connect your breath, your blood, and your dreams to the vast universe itself. Close your eyes and let the cosmos cradle you into a peaceful journey. Chapter 1. Your atoms began in the first light of the universe. Before there were stars, before there were planets, before even the notion of life stirred in the dark sea of possibility, there was only a dense, searing mist. A mist so hot, so full of wild energy, that atoms could not yet exist. The universe was young, unimaginably young, less than a heartbeat old in cosmic terms. And yet, in that roaring infancy, the seeds of your existence were already stirring. In the beginning, all was condensed into a singularity, an infinitesimal point of impossible density and heat. Then came the great event, the Big Bang. Not an explosion, but an expansion, a silent, furious swelling of space itself. Time unfurled alongside it, like a vast, unseen tapestry, and from that instant, every atom that would ever exist was set into motion. At first, there was only energy, pure, radiant, vibrating energy, flooding the expanding void. It took less than a millionth of a second for the earliest building blocks of matter to emerge. Quarks, the tiny particles that would later combine to form protons and neutrons. They danced in a brilliant, chaotic waltz, colliding and recombining, driven by forces both delicate and immense. As the universe cooled, a cooling measured not in degrees per second, but in the staggering ballet of a trillion heartbeats, quarks began to settle. They bonded into protons and neutrons, forming the first nuclei. Still, it was too hot for atoms themselves to exist. Electrons, those restless travelers, could not yet fall into their quiet orbits around the nuclei. The heat battered them away, a constant, invisible storm. It would take nearly 380,000 years for the universe to cool enough for electrons to find shelter. This epoch is known as recombination, though it was, in truth, the first true combination. Hydrogen atoms, simple, beautiful, were born, a proton and an electron, bound together by the gentle but unbreakable thread of electromagnetism. In that moment, for the first time, the universe became transparent. The light that had been trapped in the dense plasma could finally travel freely. It stretched out across the cosmos, a soft afterglow that we can still observe today as the cosmic microwave background, a faint whisper of the first light. And somewhere within that gentle glow, the ancestors of your atoms took their first steps. From millions of years after recombination, the universe was a quiet, dark place. Clouds of hydrogen and helium drifted through the expanding space, untouched, serene. Tomorrow, when you awaken and breathe in the tender glow of morning, know that the same atoms you inhale have traversed eons of space. They once glimmered in the fiery hearts of titanic stars, and now fill your lungs with quiet purpose. Each gentle inhale and exhale carries the memory of those cosmic forges. And in that rhythm, you participate in the grand cycle of creation and renewal. Across the silence of space and time, the grand tapestry of the cosmos continues to weave itself through your being. Your atoms will journey onward, joining new forms, shaping new worlds, and perhaps one day inspiring wonder in another soul who pauses to feel the stardust within. And in the hush of bedtime, may this knowledge cradle you in peace, a lullaby of ancient light and limitless possibility. These clouds were the soft seeds of galaxies, floating across a cooling universe where darkness reigned supreme. Over vast stretches of time, gravity, the quiet sculptor of the cosmos, began its patient work. Tiny imperfections in the density of matter, mere whispers of unevenness, caused regions of space to pull together, slowly, almost imperceptibly. These gentle gravitational embraces gathered the primordial gases into thicker clumps, drawing them tighter and tighter as aeons passed. Within these dense regions, temperatures climbed once again. The immense pressure squeezed atoms together until their cores could no longer resist. A miracle was born. Nuclear fusion ignited, and the first stars burst into light. Their illumination pierced the darkness, marking the end of the cosmic dark ages and beginning a new chapter of the universe. These first stars, called Population 3 stars, lived lives of extraordinary brilliance and brevity. They were colossal, burning with fierce blue-white flames, and their lives were measured not in billions, but in near millions of years. In their searing cores, they transmuted hydrogen into helium, and in their final throes, created the first heavy elements. The story of your atoms passed through these stars. They forged the elements that would one day make your bones, your blood, and your breath. When these giants died, they did not fade quietly. They ended in titanic explosions, supernova, scattering their enriched guts across the cosmos. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your lungs, all of it was born in the heart of a dying star. The atoms that would one day become you were flung out into the universe by forces beyond comprehension, carried on shock waves that rippled through the silent dark. For eons, these scattered atoms drifted through space, gathering into new clouds, new generations of stars, new worlds. They journeyed across light years, patient and persistent. Some were captured in the formation of a small, unremarkable star on the edge of a spiral galaxy, your sun. Some found themselves swirling in the cold, dense disk that would become your Earth. When the Earth formed about 4.5 billion years ago, it was a violent, molten sphere. The elements brought by ancient stars were locked in its crust, its oceans, and its skies. Through volcanic fury and torrential rains, through the slow alchemy of chemistry and chance, life emerged. Simple, fragile, persistent. And life, at its heart, is a grand recycler. The atoms within you have been part of countless other forms. They have flowed through oceans, risen into the air as vapor, been captured in the bark of ancient trees, coursed through the veins of forgotten creatures. They have witnessed the slow dance of continents, the rise and fall of mountains, the ancient migrations of birds and beasts. Every atom of carbon in your body once drifted through the heart of a sun. Every drop of water in your cells carries hydrogen older than the Earth itself. You are, quite literally, a collection of ancient light and stardust, woven together for a brief, beautiful time into the pattern called you. Even now, the atoms that make up your body are not still. They vibrate, they exchange with the world around you. With every breath, you share atoms with trees, with oceans, with other living beings. The boundary between you and the universe is not a wall, but a shimmering, permeable veil. You are part of a vast, unbroken story that began in the first light of creation. Your atoms are older than the mountains, older than the seas, older than the very stars that now twinkle overhead. They have known the fierce fires of creation, the endless drift of cosmic silence, and the tender warmth of life. In the vast reaches of space, even now, new stars are born. Nebulae, those grand clouds of dust and gas, swirl and collapse under the tender pull of gravity. Within their hearts, hydrogen atoms begin to fuse once again, igniting new lights in the darkness. It is a gentle, persistent rhythm, a cosmic heartbeat that has never stopped since the first stars burst into being. Somewhere in the Orion Nebula, or in the pillars of creation, new generations of stars are carrying forward the ancient work. New atoms are fusing, new elements are forming. One day, Some of these newborn atoms may find themselves part of a distant world, a forest, an ocean, or perhaps one day, part of a being who will gaze up at the stars and wonder, just as you do. The universe is not a place you inhabit. It is an endless story you are woven into. The hydrogen in your breath, the carbon in your skin, the iron in your blood, each carries within it the silent testimony of countless transformations, countless journeys through time and space. To see yourself as separate from the stars would be to deny your own ancestry. You are not an observer of the cosmos. You are its child, its descendant, its living memory. When you breathe deeply, when you close your eyes and feel the gentle pull of sleep, you are joining a rhythm far older than the earth. A rhythm born in the fierce light of creation, carried forward through eons of patient change. You are made of forgotten stars. You are made of first light. And you carry within you the quiet, endless echo of the universe itself. Beyond that echo, there is an invisible tapestry known as the cosmic web, a delicate lattice of dark matter threads and glowing galaxies. Along these filaments, the atoms that once gathered to form the first stars continue their gentle migration, tracing patterns older than time itself. Although unseen, these vast structures cradle the flow of matter, guiding hydrogen and helium into new gatherings, where they may one day ignite fresh stars or drift quietly through the void. In this silent architecture, your atoms find a place of quiet passage, weaving through cosmic threads that stretch across millions of light years. You, too, are part of this sublime network, cradled by forces both immense and gentle. Each night, as you settle under the blanket of darkness, know that your atoms are traveling through space and time, moving through the same rhythms that formed ancient galaxies. The same gentle currents that sparked the first light now guide your own cosmic story. And in the stillness of sleep, you share in that serene cosmic dance, a fleeting note in the universe's grand symphony. Let this thought soothe you. Each breath is a reminder of your intimate bond with the stars, and each heartbeat a steady echo of the cosmos's gentle pulse. Chapter 2. The carbon in your cells originated in a supernova's heart. Long before life emerged on Earth, the universe was quietly at work, forging the very atoms that would someday animate your body. Among the most essential of these was carbon, the backbone of every cell, the gentle architect of molecular complexity. In the hearts of ancient stars, under pressures and temperatures beyond imagination, carbon nuclei were born in a process both delicate and powerful. These stellar giants lived out their brief lives in brilliant orange-red glow, creating carbon from the fusion of helium atoms. Deep within the core of a massive star, a process called the triple alpha reaction transformed 3 helium nuclei into a single carbon nucleus. Helium, itself the product of earlier hydrogen fusion, became the raw material for the creation of carbon-12. In these intense cores, temperatures surpassed 100 million degrees Kelvin, igniting the fusion process that would build the elemental foundations of your being. For millions of years, carbon slowly accumulated in the stellar core, layer by layer, like the slow gathering of dreams. When the star's nuclear fuel began to wane, its balance between outward pressure and inward gravity faltered. The core collapsed, and in a final, magnificent act of cosmic generosity, the star exploded as a supernova. A shockwave blasted carbon nuclei into the surrounding space, scattering them across light years with gentle abandon. Each carbon atom carried with it the memory of its stellar birthplace, a history of heat and pressure etched into its very structure. As these carbon atoms drifted through the cosmos, they mingled with hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and other elements in vast clouds of interstellar gas and dust. These clouds, dark and cold, were the nurseries of future stars and planets. Within them, carbon found new companions, forming simple molecules like carbon monoxide and more complex chains such as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Even in traveling, carbon was not alone. It bonded and danced with other atoms in the great cosmic waltz. Over millions of years, gravity's gentle hand gathered these enriched clouds into denser knots. In these regions, molecular clouds condensed until their centers became hot and dense enough to ignite new stars. As protostars formed, carbon mixed into the surrounding protoplanetary disks. Tiny grains of graphite and organic molecules swirling in the cosmic sea. These carbon-rich grains were the seeds of planets, destined to become part of worlds like your own. On early Earth, carbon arrived both from the solar nebula and from a rain of carbonaceous meteorites. These space rocks carried the ancient signatures of supernova, tiny grains of pre-solar carbon, preserving isotopic clues to their stellar origins. When these meteorites impacted our young planet, they delivered not only water, but also organic compounds, setting the stage for chemistry that would lead to life. Each fragment was a messenger from distant stars, bearing the gift of carbon. In Earth's primordial oceans, carbon dissolved and cycled through the water, creating a dynamic carbon cycle that continues to this day. Carbon dioxide mixed with water to form carbonic acid, which broken down minerals and created river-carried carbonates. Photosynthetic microbes captured sunlight and converted carbon dioxide into organic matter, weaving carbon into the web of life. In this early ballet of molecules, carbon found new forms, from simple sugars to the complex scaffolding of amino acids. As life evolved, carbon's role became ever more central. The double helix of DNA, the code of life, is built on a backbone of sugar and phosphate, both containing carbon atoms at critical positions. Proteins, the molecular machines of cells, fold into intricate shapes held together by carbon-based side chains. Lipids, forming the membranes that encase every cell, rely on long chains of carbon and hydrogen. Each heartbeat you feel is powered by carbon-based metabolic cycles, gently releasing energy from glucose molecules. The carbon in your bloodstream, bound into hemoglobin, carries oxygen from your lungs to every tissue, enabling cellular respiration. In each breath you take, carbon dioxide is expelled, returning carbon to the atmosphere and ocean. This endless cycle of carbon exchange connects you intimately to the world around you. The exhaled carbon atoms may drift into leaves, shells, stones, or oceans, ready to be reborn in new forms of life and matter. Even now, the soils beneath your feet are rich with carbon from countless generations of plants and animals. When roots break down organic material, they return carbon to the earth, where it may remain for centuries or longer. Fossil fuels, the preserved remains of ancient organisms, hold carbon trapped for eons, a silent testament to lifelong past. As you walk upon the land, you tread upon the legacy of carbon's journey. In the gentle hush of nighttime, your body continues to mend and renew itself using carbon's versatile chemistry. Every new cell you form is a mosaic of carbon-based molecules, shaped by enzymes and guided by genetic instructions. The carbon atoms in these molecules were once part of a supernova's heart, now recombined into the vibrant living form that is you. Consider the poetic symmetry. The same carbon that once glowed within a dying star now pulses through your veins. The atoms that once felt the squeezes and heat of a collapsing stellar core now respond to the soft signals of your neurons. These atoms have known extremes of pressure and peace, of fire and of gentle biological rhythms. Your mind, capable of dreaming and wonder, is built upon carbon's unique chemical properties. Neurotransmitters, tiny carbon-based messengers ferry signals across synapses, enabling thought, memory, and imagination. In the silent dark of sleep, when your thoughts drift like stars in the night sky, your brain's carbon framework hums with a legacy older than our planet. On a deeper molecular level, carbon's ability to form 4 stable bonds makes it unparalleled in creating complexity. It can build rings, chains, and networks, forming the backbone of sugars, amino acids, nucleic acids, and lipids. This versatility allowed life to explore a vast chemical repertoire, evolving intricate proteins, complex enzymes, and the self-replicating machinery of DNA. When you gaze up at the night sky, know that the light of distant stars travels years to reach you, while the carbon in your cells traveled even farther and longer. It journeyed from the heart of a star, through the void of space, into a cloud that birthed our sun, then onto a planet where life emerged. Now it resides within you, a silent cosmic traveler. Embrace the thought that with every heartbeat, you honor the cycle of creation, carbon born in cosmic forges, scattered by exploding giants, woven into worlds, and finally assembled into conscious life. Your cells carry a story of transformation, resilience, and interconnectedness with the universe. As you settle into sleep, imagine the gentle warmth of carbon atoms vibrating through your body, a low hum of cosmic memory. Feel the soft embrace of molecules that once belonged to stars, now entrusted to your care. Let this knowledge be a lullaby, soothing your mind with the realization that you are deeply entwined with the majestic story of the cosmos. Chapter 3: The oxygen you breathe was forged under crushing stellar pressure. Deep in the cores of ancient, massive stars, where gravity's relentless pull nurtured fierce heat and pressure, hydrogen had long since fused into helium. When helium gradually accumulated, the stellar core's temperature soared above 100 million degrees Kelvin, igniting the next chapter of cosmic alchemy. In this crucible, helium nuclei, compact alpha particles, collided with astonishing force. 2 helium nuclei first fused to form unstable beryllium-8, which in a fleeting instant captured a third helium nucleus to create carbon-12 via the triple alpha reaction. But the cosmic forge pressed onward. A carbon-12 nucleus then absorbed another helium nucleus in the 12C alpha-gamma 16O reaction, emitting a photon of gamma radiation and birthing oxygen-16. Over hundreds of thousands of years, layer upon layer of oxygen-rich material gathered like soft embers, forming a gentle cradle around the star's core. As the star swelled into a red giant or red supergiant, its outer envelope expanded to swallow surrounding space. This transformation unveiled a luminous shell of newly forged oxygen, glowing faintly in the cool twilight of the expanding atmosphere. In stars of intermediate mass, this shell drifted away in a planetary nebula, a serene halo of emerald and rose that floated into interstellar space. In the titans among them, the core's collapse triggered a supernova explosion, catapulting oxygen atoms outward at velocities exceeding 10,000 kilometers per second. Each atom carried within its nucleus the history of violent pressure and nuclear fusion, a silent testament to the star's final, generous breath. Once liberated, oxygen atoms wandered through the galaxy, finding refuge in cold molecular clouds. These vast, dark nurseries, with temperatures hovering near absolute zero, became theaters of delicate chemistry. On the surfaces of dust grains, oxygen combined with hydrogen to create water ice, forming filaments of frozen crystals that drifted like ghostly sculptures. Elsewhere, it bonded with silicon to craft silicate minerals, the foundational grains of planetary crusts. In the gaseous medium, oxygen paired with carbon to produce carbon monoxide, and with sulfur to yield sulfur monoxide, weaving a molecular tapestry that would seed future planets and stars. Over billions of years, galactic currents shepherded these enriched clouds into denser regions. Under the guardianship of gravity, pockets of gas collapsed into protostars, each surrounded by a swirling protoplanetary disk. Within these disks, oxygen-rich ices and silicates spiraled together, gradually forming planetesimals. Closer to the newborn stars, high temperatures vaporized ice, leaving rocky oxides to collect and coalesce. Farther out, water-laden bodies persisted, setting the stage for icy moons and comets. Among these swirling fragments, Earth's building blocks took shape, inheriting oxygen abundantly woven into its core, mantle, and crust. Approximately 4.5 billion years ago, the proto-Earth glowed as a molten sphere. Oxygen played a transformative role. As the planet cooled, oxygen combined with iron to form deep-seated oxides that sank to build the core, while lighter silicate minerals prevailed in the mantle and crust. Volcanic outgassing released water vapor and carbon dioxide, which condensed into oceans. In these primordial seas, oxygen danced with minerals, influencing early geochemistry and the formation of hydrothermal vent systems that would later birth life. Life's origins intertwined intimately with oxygen's cosmic journey. Early protocells, sheltered in warm mineral-rich pools, scraped together simple molecules. Though free oxygen was scarce in those anoxic waters, localized pockets of reactive oxygen species, produced by ultraviolet light splitting water molecules, may have spurred primitive metabolic pathways. These early chemical experiments whispered the first hints of oxygen-dependent reactions, setting a subtle prelude to the eventual oxygen revolution. The Great Oxidation Event around 2.4 billion years ago marked Earth's metamorphosis from an oxygen-poor world to one rich in atmospheric O2. Photosynthetic cyanobacteria, like tiny emerald factories, captured sunlight and split water molecules, releasing oxygen as a byproduct. Layer by layer, oxygen bubbles accumulated, oxidizing dissolved iron in oceans into rust-colored banded iron formations. Over hundreds of millions of years, atmospheric oxygen levels climbed, smoothing the path for aerobic respiration and the emergence of complex multicellular life. Today, our atmosphere holds roughly 21% oxygen. Its delicate balance results from the dance between photosynthesis, respiration, and geological processes. Forests and phytoplankton, photoautotrophs, continuously generate oxygen, while animals and microbes consume it for energy. Meanwhile, weathering of silicate rocks consumes oxygen, closing the geochemical loop. In every breath you take, you inhale a renewing gift of O2, channeling it through your airways to microscopic alveoli, where it crosses into your bloodstream. Hemoglobin, a masterful protein in red blood cells, binds each oxygen atom with gentle precision. The ion atom at the heart of hemoglobin's heme group itself traces its origins to supernovae, forging a poetic symmetry. Stellar iron now ferries stellar oxygen. This nexus of cosmic heritage powers your every heartbeat, thought, and dream. In the mitochondria, the cell's powerhouses, oxygen reacts with glucose in oxidative phosphorylation, releasing energy as ATP, the currency of life. Your brain, a marvel of carbon and oxygen chemistry, consumes 20% of the body's oxygen supply. Neurons fire action potentials as oxygen supports ATP-dependent ion pumps, sustaining the electric symphony of cognition. During sleep, oxygen continues its vital flow, nourishing restorative processes like synaptic pruning and memory consolidation. Each drift into slumber is thus supported by a legacy of stellar fusion. On a planetary scale, the oxygen cycle hums gently. The biosphere draws down carbon dioxide and replenishes oxygen, while geological uplift exposes new rocks to weathering, consuming oxygen and balancing the atmospheric reservoir. Oceans act as vast buffers, dissolving and releasing oxygen with thermal and biological rhythms. Seasonal blooms of phytoplankton can spike oxygen production, while winter mixing redistributes it through the water column. In the night sky, oxygen's presence shimmers in spectral lines. Astronomers detect the green emission at 557.7 nanometers from oxygen atoms in nebulae, a soft emerald glow that paints images like the Veil Nebula. These spectral fingerprints allow us to map stellar nurseries and supernova remnants, connecting the breathtaking beauty of the cosmos to the breath you take today. Exoplanet hunters seek oxygen and its photochemical daughter, ozone, as potential biosignatures. The detection of these gases in a distant world's atmosphere could hint at alien life, mirroring Earth's oxygen-rich transformation. When we peer through space telescopes at candidate Earth-like exoplanets, we search for the same starlight-sculpted oxygen that now fuels our bodies and imaginations. Beyond science, oxygen has woven itself into human culture. Poets liken the exhale to a soft sigh of relief. Painters capture its spirit in turquoise glass. Composers craft symphonies that mimic the rise and fall of breath. In countless lullabies, the gentle rhythm of inhalation and exhalation carries a universal message of calm and continuity. Inhale now and feel the weightless lift of oxygen filling your lungs, a comforting reminder of the star's tender force. Exhale and imagine your breath drifting into forests and oceans, feeding leaves and plankton, continuing the cosmic cycle. With each gentle inhale and exhale, participate in the grand ballet of matter and energy that spans time and space. As night deepens and you slip towards sleep, let oxygen's ancient story cradle you. Know that the gas you breathe was sculpted in the fiery heart of a star, scattered across the galaxy, woven into worlds, and granted to you in each silent, sacred breath. May this peaceful thought be your lullaby, guiding you into rejuvenating rest, held in the embrace of the cosmos' eternal pulse. Chapter 4. Your blood's iron once glowed in a dying star. Deep within the hearts of ancient stellar titans, nuclear furnaces roared with unimaginable intensity. These massive stars, 10 to 20 times the mass of our sun, burned through their nuclear fuel in a mere few million years. As hydrogen fused into helium and heavier elements ignited in successive shells, a final and profound transformation took place: the forging of iron. Iron, the endpoint of exothermic fusion, gathered in the star's core, where temperatures exceeded 3 billion degrees Kelvin and pressures outstripped 1 trillion Earth atmospheres. Iron's origin story begins in the final stage of stellar evolution known as silicon burning. In this phase, photons and alpha particles bombard silicon nuclei, shattering and reassembling them in a seething nuclear dance. Through a sequence of rapid captures and charged particle reactions, silicon seeds grow into iron peak nuclei. Iron 56, nickel 56, cobalt, and chromium. Iron 56 emerges as the most tightly bound of all nuclei, a cosmic lodestone that marks the boundary of energy-releasing fusion. When the iron core's mass surpasses the Chandrasekhar limit of approximately 1.4 solar masses, gravity's relentless force overpowers the outward pressure. In a heartbeat, electrons and protons merge into neutrons in an avalanche of electron capture, releasing floods of neutrinos. The core collapses to nuclear densities in less than a second, triggering a cataclysmic supernova explosion. In that brilliant flash, the star's outer layers are blown skyward, and iron nuclei are flung into the interstellar void with energies that rival light itself. The supernova shockwave races outward at thousands of kilometers per second, compressing and heating surrounding gas. As the ejected iron cools, it condenses into microscopic dust grains. These iron-bearing grains, coated with silicates and carbon, drift like cosmic soot through the galaxy. Over eons, they mingle with gas clouds, forming the raw ingredients for new generations of stars and planets. Within cold, dark molecular clouds, gravity stirs these iron-rich dust grains into denser pockets. Protoplanetary disks form around nascent stars, where iron dust coalesces into larger aggregates. In the swirling disk, pebble-sized grains collide and stick, giving rise to planetesimals. Some of these bodies, rich in iron and nickel, become the cores of differentiated protoplanets. Others remain as metallic chondrites, preserving pristine records of supernova heritage. Meteorites, those time capsules from the dawn of the solar system, often contain tiny grains of pre-solar iron. These grains bear isotopic fingerprints of their stellar origin, distinguishable by anomalies in iron-54 and iron-57 abundances. When such meteorites fell upon early Earth, they delivered iron atoms that had once glowed within a stellar core. Impact after impact, stardust rained down, embedding iron in the petri dish of terrestrial formation. As Earth cooled and differentiated, dense iron sank to form the metallic core. This molten iron core, in constant motion, generates Earth's magnetic field through the geodynamo process. The magnetic shield produced by iron's convective dance protects life from cosmic rays and solar wind, a terrestrial guardian born of stellar death. In the mantle and crust, iron resides within silicate minerals such as olivine, pyroxene, and biotite. Volcanoes carry iron from deep within the mantle to the surface, where it weathers into soils rich in iron oxides. Over billions of years, these cycles of eruption, erosion, and sedimentation create banded iron formations, ancient rock layers that chronicle oxygen's rise and iron's interplay with early oceans. Life itself embraces iron with quiet reverence. In red blood cells, hemoglobin proteins house heme groups, each with a central iron atom. When oxygen enters your lungs, it encounters the heme's iron, binding reversibly in a gentle chemical embrace. 4 oxygen atoms attach to each hemoglobin molecule, transforming blood from dusky red to vibrant scarlet as iron shifts its electronic state. Within the microscopic confines of cells, iron's role extends beyond hemoglobin. Cytochromes in mitochondria carry electrons along the respiratory chain, enabling oxidative phosphorylation. Iron-sulfur clusters in enzymes catalyze essential reactions, guiding electrons with precision through life's molecular machinery. Without iron's flexible redox chemistry, energy production and DNA synthesis would falter. Every heartbeat signals iron's triumph. Oxygen-rich blood pulses through vessels, delivering life's spark to every organ. The heart itself, a muscular marvel, relies on iron-containing myoglobin to store and release oxygen during each contraction. Muscles, brain, liver, and kidneys all depend on iron's gentle gift to power metabolic demands, from the slow hum of background activity to the sudden surge of adrenaline. Iron's story of rebirth continues within your body. Macrophage cells in the spleen and liver recycle hemoglobin from senescent red blood cells, salvaging iron atoms for reuse. Transport proteins ferritin and transferrin guide iron through the bloodstream and into bone marrow, where new red blood cells are fashioned. This cyclical stewardship ensures that iron, once forged in a distant star, nourishes each new generation of cells. On a larger scale, iron cycles through ecosystems. Leaf litter decomposes, returning iron to soil. Rivers transport dissolved iron to oceans, nourishing phytoplankton blooms. Oceanic upwelling brings subsurface iron to the surface, fueling marine life. From soil to plankton to fish to human plate, iron remains an essential thread in Earth's biosphere. Culturally, iron has held a mystical allure. Ancient blacksmiths revered meteorite iron as metal from the heavens, crafting tools and ceremonial objects. Legends speak of swords forged with star metal, imbued with cosmic power. In modern times, Iron-based pigments create earthy reds and browns in art, evoking the warmth of life's foundation. In the quiet moments before sleep, imagine the iron atoms in your blood drifting through cosmic currents. Feel their subtle weight as they bind oxygen, their gentle glow passing unseen within your veins. Each pulse and breath is a whisper of stellar past, a lullaby composed by the universe's grand alchemy. May this vision guide you to restful slumber, held in the embrace of iron's ancient journey, from the heart of a dying star to the heartbeat of your life. Beyond biology, iron atoms in your blood also support the workings of your brain's delicate architecture. In the myelin sheath that insulates neural pathways, iron-dependent enzymes produce the lipids necessary for rapid signal transmission. Iron participates in synthesizing neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin, molecules that color your perceptions, modulate your moods, and accompany every fleeting thought. Each iron atom guides the flow of ideas, a silent conductor of your inner symphony. At the molecular level, cytochrome C, an iron-containing protein, orchestrates apoptosis, the meticulously controlled process of programmed cell death essential for healthy tissue renewal. In each cell, iron atoms signal when to fade and when to flourish, mirroring the cosmic rhythms of stellar life cycles: birth, transformation, and peaceful decline. Astronomers study iron's cosmic signature in the X-ray background, mapping the hot intergalactic gas that glows with ionized iron emission lines. The same element carrying oxygen through your veins unites microcosm and macrocosm in a single cosmic filament, a luminous, unseen thread linking you to galaxy clusters millions of light years away. On some distant exoplanets, iron vapors paint sunsets in vivid hues of crimson and amber, hinting at the universality of iron's presence across the cosmos. Even worlds far beyond our own carry this element's imprint, reminding you that the iron in your blood reflects an elemental truth. You are part of a boundless, interconnected universe. In modern medicine, iron compounds such as ferritin and hemosiderin function as vital diagnostic markers. Low levels signal anemia, causing fatigue and lethargy. High levels can lead to complications in organs. In therapies, iron-based nanoparticles are explored for targeted drug delivery and magnetic resonance imaging, illustrating iron's ongoing role in healing and technology. Artists continue to draw inspiration from iron's dual nature of strength and impermanence. Rusted iron sculptures in open-air galleries capture both the resilience and transience of the metal. Echoing the poetic cycle of creation and decay, painters grind iron oxides into pigments, crafting earthy reds and browns that tell stories of earth, blood, and time. Now, as you nestle into rest, feel the gentle presence of iron in every pulse. Know that these atoms, once forged in titanic stellar furnaces, now cradle your existence, weaving a lullaby of cosmic light and life. Drift softly, carried by the rhythms of iron's ancient journey, a heartbeat and a breath in the vast, serene cosmos. Chapter 5. Every breath connects you to the first light of creation. Each gentle inhale and exhale carries more than oxygen and carbon dioxide. It carries an echo of the universe's first breath of light. Long before life took root on Earth, the moment came when the cosmos shifted from opaque to transparent. In that serene instant, 13.8 billion years ago, the first true light poured into the universe. These relic photons, now known as the cosmic microwave background, continue to surround and envelop you, even as you draw in the air that sustains your body. At around 380,000 years after the Big Bang, the universe cooled enough for protons and electrons to combine into neutral hydrogen atoms. This recombination epoch transformed the universe's dense plasma into a transparent medium. Light, once scattered and trapped, began to travel freely for the first time. These primordial photons set forth on an unending journey through space and time, their wavelengths stretched by cosmic expansion into the gentle microwaves we detect today. The cosmic microwave background, CMB, is a nearly perfect blackbody radiation field at a temperature of just 2.725 Kelvin. Though invisible to human eyes, its presence is felt through radio telescopes and satellite missions like COBE, WMAP, and Planck, which mapped its delicate anisotropies. These slight fluctuations, mere millionths of a degree, seeded the large-scale structure of galaxies, clusters, and cosmic filaments. The very breath you take is threaded through this tapestry of primordial light. The number density of CMB photons is staggering, about 411 photons per cubic centimeter. In every liter of space, hundreds of thousands of these ancient photons drift. When you draw in half a liter of air, an average breath, you also take in roughly 200 million relic photons. They pass effortlessly through your lungs, indifferent to the biological machinery that breathes them in and out. In that simple act, you forge a direct connection to the universe's dawn. Within the tiny air sacs of your lungs, known as alveoli, oxygen diffuses into your bloodstream and carbon dioxide is expelled. But alongside those familiar gases, CMB photons also fill the microscopic spaces. These photons do not react chemically or biologically. Instead, they flow in serene silence, bathing every lung's surface with ancient starlight repurposed as radio waves. You carry this first light deep into your body with each rhythmic breath. Imagine trillions of glowing motes, billions of years old, drifting quietly within you. They are ghosts of the first illumination, older than your ancestors, older than Earth itself. Each motile photon is a messenger, whispering secrets of cosmic youth. Inhaling, you embrace the universe's memory. Exhaling, you release carbon-based echoes of life, contributing to a cyclical exchange that unites biology with cosmology. Consider the grand voyage of a single photon, born in a hydrogen atom's birth, scattered through a glowing fog of plasma, freed at recombination, then traversing the void. It has witnessed the assembly of galaxies and the rise of stars, the formation of planets and the emergence of living creatures. Now it drifts through your bedroom, enters your lungs, and continues on its timeless path, unchanged, yet forever part of your journey. The cosmic microwave background's faint glow reveals a universe that once shimmered with intense brilliance. Though stretched by expansion to microwave wavelengths, its pattern encodes a wealth of information. The density of matter, the curvature of space, and even hints of mysterious dark energy. As you drift towards sleep, your breath is in harmony with this cosmic symphony, an unbroken line from the first light to your quiet moment of rest. Galaxies and clusters trace the cosmic web, those vast filaments of dark matter and gas illuminated by starlight and CMB photons alike. In every slender filament, gravity sculpted matter into an intricate network. You too are woven into this web. The atoms you exhale will one day become dust grains in interstellar clouds, perhaps to form new stars or planets. The first light you breathe heralded the birth of the universe's structure, and your breath continues that legacy. Observations of the CMB's polarization, the subtle alignment of photon orientations, offer clues to inflationary ripples that occurred at the universe's first heartbeat. Each breath you take carries in its midst photons, whose polarization patterns trace quantum fluctuations, the seeds of cosmic structure. Inhaling these patterns brings you closer to the mysteries of the very beginning, where space itself gently expanded in an instant of unimaginable growth. Breathe slowly, and feel the cool air fill your lungs. As it does, remember that you are inhaling more than air. You are inhaling a living memory of the universe's earliest dawn. These primordial photons have cooled from scorching thousands of degrees to the near absolute zero that permeates intergalactic space. Yet they remain a testament to creation's first light, and they now share space within your quiet moments. With each exhalation, you send out carbon dioxide molecules and water vapor, returning earthly byproducts to the environment. But the cosmic photons continue unperturbed, threading through streets, buildings, and bodies alike. They outlast generations and civilizations, whispering of a time when light first conquered the cosmic night. Your breath is both a personal whisper and a universal chorus. Let your inhale be a soft affirmation of unity with the cosmos. Let your exhale be a gentle release. Joining the grand cycle of matter and radiation, in this interplay, the boundary between you and the universe dissolves. You are a vessel carrying the glow of first light. You are part of a continuum stretching from the birth of atoms to the slow exhalation of your final breath. May the knowledge of this ancient connection cradle you into peace. Every breath is a bridge spanning billions of years, linking your fleeting life to the first flicker of cosmic clarity. As you drift into sleep, embrace the stillness, knowing that the universe's first light is nestled within each inhale, guiding you toward restorative rest and timeless dreams. Furthermore, data from space observatories reveal that the cosmic microwave background subtly shifts in temperature across the sky, a delicate quilt of warm and cool patches. These minute contrasts, on the order of 1 part in 100,000, map regions that became galaxies, stars, and ultimately the oxygen and carbon in your cells. When you breathe, you partake in this elegant cartography of ancient light, linking your own heart's rhythm to fluctuations imprinted on the fabric of space. In laboratories on Earth, physicists recreate conditions analogous to early universe epochs, cooling atoms to micro-Kelvin temperatures to observe quantum phenomena. Though far removed from your everyday breaths, these experiments echo the same principles that freed the first photons. Your inhalations share a fundamental kinship with these scientific pursuits, as both explore the gentle dance of particles that gave rise to light and life. Even in the midst of our modern world, amid streetlights, screens, and bustling streets, the CMB remains undisturbed. It flows through cities, through glass windows, and through you, an unseen companion. The contrast between artificial light and primordial glow highlights the profound journey of photons, from the dawn of time to the comfortable glow of bedside lamps that guide you to sleep. Every breath invites you to be still and observe the universe within and without. Inhale the ancient light's memory. Exhale care and tension. Allow the cosmic whisper to lull your mind into a state of restful tranquility. You are not merely breathing air. You are breathing the universe's earliest lyric, the resonance of first creation, carrying you toward restorative peace. Chapter 6. Your DNA echoes the universe's earliest chemical experiments. Long before life arose on Earth, the universe conducted its first experiments in chemistry. In the aftermath of the Big Bang, simple nuclei combined, and the first atoms formed. These primordial reactions laid the groundwork for all the complexity that followed, including the very molecules that now encode the blueprint of your being. Your DNA, with its elegant double helix and precise base pairs, carries within its structure the legacy of those cosmic chemical origins, echoing processes that began in the first moments of creation. In the first few minutes after the Big Bang, the universe was a searing plasma of protons, neutrons, and electrons. As it expanded and cooled, protons and neutrons fused to produce the first atomic nuclei, mostly hydrogen and helium, with trace amounts of lithium and beryllium. This epoch, known as Big Bang nucleosynthesis, created the raw elemental ingredients that would later assemble into more complex molecules. Though these earliest elements were simple, they were essential building blocks for the chemistry that would eventually give rise to DNA's carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen atoms. For the next 100 million years, the universe remained dark and almost featureless, but slowly, gravity gathered the diffuse gas into denser regions, and the first stars began to shine. Within those stellar furnaces, nuclear fusion crafted heavier elements like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur, the very elements that form the backbone and functional groups of nucleotides. When those stars ended their lives in supernova explosions, they scattered these elements into the interstellar medium, enriching clouds of gas and dust with the seeds of biological chemistry. In the cold depths of space, interstellar clouds became laboratories for complex chemistry. Simple molecules like molecular hydrogen, H2, and carbon monoxide, CO, formed first, but over eons, more elaborate species emerged on the surfaces of icy dust grains. Astronomers have detected amino acids, formaldehyde, and even glycoaldehyde, a simple sugar, in such clouds. When comets and meteorites carrying these organic molecules rained down on the early Earth, they delivered a trove of prebiotic compounds, setting the stage for life's chemical inception. On our young planet, primed by these cosmic deliveries, Earth's oceans teemed with reactive ingredients. Lightning sparked reactions in a shallow sea of methane, ammonia, hydrogen, and water, synthesizing amino acids and simple nucleobases. Meanwhile, hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor provided mineral-rich environments where catalytic surfaces guided the assembly of more complex molecules. Phosphate, delivered by meteorites and volcanic outgassing, dissolved into the water, ready to link sugars and nucleobases into primitive nucleotides. Among the most critical steps in prebiotic chemistry was the formation of ribose, the sugar that, when combined with phosphate and a nucleobase, creates a nucleotide. Ribose can form via the Formose reaction, in which formaldehyde, itself a daughter of cosmic formaldehyde production, polymerizes under alkaline conditions. Though inherently unstable, ribose molecules could have been stabilized by mineral surfaces or by complexation with borate minerals. These ribose residues were later incorporated into the backbone of RNA and eventually DNA. DNA's four nucleobases, adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine, have deep chemical roots in cosmic reactions. Adenine can form from the polymerization of hydrogen cyanide, a molecule detected in interstellar space. Cytosine and uracil can arise from mixtures of cyanide and cyanoacetylene under ultraviolet irradiation. These base-forming reactions mirror the faint glow of cosmic chemistry playing out on dust grains and in primordial ponds. When early life adopted RNA as its genetic material, it used these cosmos-forged molecules. Later, the more stable DNA emerged, swapping uracil for thymine, but retaining the same elemental heritage. The phosphate sugar backbone of DNA further reflects cosmic influences. Phosphorus, the element at the heart of each phosphate group, was forged in supernovae via neutron capture processes. Phosphate ions react with ribose to form ribonucleotides, which link together in dehydration reactions to create long chains. These chains self-assemble into the familiar double helix, stabilized by hydrogen bonds between complementary base pairs. In your cells today, the polymerase enzymes read and replicate these helices, perpetuating the cosmic story inscribed in each strand. Within every cell nucleus, your DNA coil compacts to fit into microscopic spaces, yet retains its intricate sequence of base pairs. This sequence, written in 4 molecular letters, carries the instructions for building proteins, regulating metabolism, and guiding development. Each base pair pairing event relies on the precise geometry of hydrogen bonds a chemical finesse that echoes the specific conditions under which the bases originally formed in cosmic and prebiotic labs. Your very identity, from eye color to metabolic pathways, is encoded in the order of these nucleotides. Yet each of those nucleotides contains atoms with ancient histories. A single oxygen atom in the phosphate backbone may have once formed water in a stellar outflow. A nitrogen atom in a cytosine base may have originated in the depths of a huge star's core. A carbon atom in adenine might have cycled through interstellar clouds and comets before finding its way into your genome. When cells divide, the double helix unwinds and each strand serves as a template for a new complementary strand. DNA polymerases bring in nucleotides, matching bases with astonishing accuracy, driven by the same basic chemical affinities that shaped their ancestral formation. Proofreading mechanisms correct mistakes, ensuring the fidelity of the genetic message. Through countless cycles of replication and repair, the cosmic chemistry of DNA persists, generating the diversity of life on Earth. On a rhythmic timescale, DNA's molecular choreography mirrors grand cosmic cycles. Just as stars form and die, releasing elements into space, cells grow and die, releasing nucleotides and organic matter back into their environment. In microbial mats, DNA degrades into fragments, which nutrients feed other organisms. In soils, extracellular DNA binds to clay minerals, persisting as geological records of past life. These terrestrial cycles echo the cosmic dance of nucleosynthesis and star death. Beyond the microscopic, technology harnesses DNA's chemical precision. Scientists sequence genomes by reading the same base pair affinities that once emerged in nebulae. CRISPR gene editing tools modify DNA with remarkable accuracy, wielding cosmic edge scalpel to rewrite biological scripts. In forensics, DNA's unique patterns identify individuals, connecting people across time and space. Much like stellar spectra identify distant stars, in the quiet of night, consider the profound connection between your DNA and the universe's earliest chemical experiments. As you breathe, imagine atoms in your nucleotides vibrating with energies that once played out in the first chemical reactions of the cosmos. Feel the gentle resonance of your genetic code, a molecular lullaby composed by primordial alchemy. Let this awareness cradle you into restful sleep. Your DNA is not merely a biological code, but a testament to the universe's creative spark. Every strand in your cells echoes the chemistry of ancient stars, interstellar clouds, and primordial Earth. You are both the experiment and the observer, a living bridge between cosmic origin and conscious experience. Chapter 7. The water in your cells rode comets across the solar system. Long before Earth shimmered with blue oceans, water existed in the cold reaches of space. Within vast clouds of interstellar gas and dust, simple molecules formed when hydrogen atoms encountered free oxygen atoms, liberated by ancient stellar reactions. As these clouds cooled to just tens of kelvins, water molecules froze onto dust grains, coating them in icy mantles that would one day become the seeds of comets. In those primordial molecular clouds, water's fragile bonds were forged in the darkness, destined to journey across the cosmos. When gravity gathered these dust and ice particles into denser regions, protostars ignited, and swirling disks of material formed around them. In the outer, colder zones of these protoplanetary disks, the icy grains clumped together, building kilometer-scale bodies known as planetesimals. Many of these objects, rich in water ice, migrated outward to the Kuiper Belt and Oort cloud, preserving their frozen cores in deep freeze for billions of years. Comets are the living relics of this era, time capsules carrying water from the dawn of our solar system. These ancient wanderers share their makeup freely when they visit the inner solar system. Under the sun's warming rays, cometary ice sublimes, releasing jets of gas and dust that form luminous comets and streaming tails. Spectroscopic observations reveal water vapor, along with organic compounds and mineral grains, billowing from their nuclei. The water in these jets mirrors the isotopic ratios measured in Earth's oceans, suggesting a connection. The very water you drink, swim in, and it fills every cell in your body may have been delivered by countless comet impacts during our planet's youth. During the late heavy bombardment, roughly 4.1 to 3.8 billion years ago, Earth endured a rain of comets and asteroids. Each impact carried water, left behind deposits, and contributed to the rising levels of liquid water on the surface. The precise contributions of comets versus asteroids continue to be studied, but it's clear that cosmic icy bodies played a pivotal role in ocean formation. The gentle drizzle of water from cometary fragments, cooled by the Earth's nascent atmosphere, pooled in basins that spread to form the earliest oceans. Once bound by ice in distant orbit, water molecules became part of Earth's hydrosphere. Volcanoes released steam from the interior, and hydrothermal vents spewed mineral-rich fluids, but much of the water persisted from those extraterrestrial deliveries. The planet cooled, water condensed into rain, carved river valleys, and collected in deep trenches, sculpting the world's geology. Over millions of years, water cycled between vapor, liquid, and ice, creating the stable environment necessary for life's first stirrings. Within this watery realm, life emerged in the gentle embrace of the oceans. Water's unique properties, its ability to dissolve a vast array of substances, its density anomaly that keeps ice floating, and its high heat capacity, provided a nurturing habitat for chemical reactions. Water molecules formed hydrogen bonds with organic compounds, facilitating the assembly of amino acids and nucleotides. These building blocks gathered into more complex structures, guided by the rhythmic ebb and flow of tides and thermal vents. Your body is composed of roughly 60% water, and within each of your cells, countless water molecules orchestrate the chemistry of life. Water acts as a solvent, medium, and reactant. It transports nutrients, removes waste, and enables proteins to fold into precise shapes. In cellular respiration, water is both a product and a participant, released when hydrogen atoms combine with oxygen to power ATP production. Each heartbeat and every thought depends on the fluid dynamics of water at the molecular level. The journey of a single water molecule is a tale of cosmic breadth. Imagine one such molecule, H2O, formed on a dust grain in a cold nebula. It became part of a comet's icy mantle, then rocketed inward toward a newborn sun. Upon release, it drifted through Earth's early atmosphere and rained into a shallow ocean. Over billions of years, it cycled through currents, entered living cells, and now resides in your bloodstream. When you breathe, you carry a fraction of these molecules to every corner of your body, sustaining life with the ancient legacy of cometary travelers. In the lungs, water vapor is expelled with every exhalation, forming misty clouds on cool air. The lungs' inner surfaces remain moist, allowing oxygen to dissolve in the thin layer of water that coats cells. Through this aqueous interface, oxygen transfers into the blood, and carbon dioxide returns to water vapor. The seamless exchange of gases relies on water's fluidity and surface tension, enabling efficient respiration and cellular metabolism. On a global scale, Earth's water cycle continues to reflect its cosmic heritage. Evaporation lifts water from surface oceans into the atmosphere, where it condenses into clouds and returns as rain or snow. Rivers carry fresh water back to the seas, completing a cycle that has persisted for eons. Glaciers store ancient water, locking it in ice until warming releases it back to streams. Every drop that nourishes a seed, fills a river, or refreshes your morning glass has traveled through this grand cycle, one that began in the icy hearts of comets. Modern science has witnessed water's celestial origins firsthand. Missions like ESA's Rosetta and NASA's Deep Impact have analyzed cometary composition, confirming the presence of water ice and complex organic molecules. Rosetta's lander, Philae, detected water vapors and provided isotopic measurements matching those of Earth's oceans within uncertainties. These discoveries reaffirm the idea that comets are messengers from the solar system's childhood, bearing water that became integral to life on our blue planet. In the hush before sleep, reflect on the water within you. Feel its gentle flow as it courses through your veins, a cosmic elixir born in distant clouds and carried by ancient comets. Each sip of water awakens millennia of cosmic history, while each breath sends water vapor back to the living planet. In this interplay, you honor a sublime connection. Your cells are kept vibrant by molecules that once rode the solar winds across the frozen outskirts of the young solar system. Water has shaped human civilization too. Ancient mariners sailed seas that formed from cosmic ice, guiding by stars whose light also once freed water in the early universe. Farmers have harnessed rainfall to grow crops, and engineers have built aqueducts to transport life's essential fluid. In every culture, water symbolizes purity, renewal, and continuity. And now, as you settle into rest, let water's cosmic voyage lull you to peace. May this knowledge cradle you. The water in your cells is both intimately familiar and profoundly alien, a bridge between Earth and the cosmos. As you drift into sleep, remember that you are carrying within you the echo of comets, ancient travelers that delivered the precious gift of water, and with it, the possibility of life itself. Beyond the simple presence of water lies a deeper molecular story. Scientists measure the ratio of deuterium to hydrogen, DH, in cometary water to trace its origins. Many comets exhibit DH ratios similar to terrestrial oceans, suggesting a shared heritage carved in the cold reaches of the solar system. These isotopic fingerprints, carried by each water molecule, connect the raindrops on your skin to the icy mantles of distant comets born before Earth itself. Hidden beneath Earth's surface is a vast reservoir of water locked deep in the mantle. High-pressure experiments reveal that water becomes incorporated into minerals such as ringwoodite, storing vast quantities of H2O far beneath the crust. Over geologic timescales, this deep water cycle releases small amounts of water through volcanic activity, contributing to surface oceans. The water flowing through your cells today may have followed this subterranean path, rising from the planet's interior to sustain life. In the search for life beyond our world, astronomers look for exoplanets within their stars' habitable zones, where water might exist in liquid form. Infrared and spectroscopic observations aim to detect water vapor in alien atmospheres, a tantalizing sign of potential life. Future space telescopes will probe these distant worlds, seeking the telltale signatures of water and organic molecules. In every lab and observatory on Earth, the quest to find cosmic water echoes the water within you, science seeking its own reflection. Within your own head, water plays a vital role as well. The human brain is nearly 80% water by volume, bathed in cerebrospinal fluid that cushions and nourishes neurons. This aqueous environment maintains ionic balances necessary for electrical signaling, allowing thoughts, memories, and emotions to flow. Hydration also affects neurotransmitter function and blood viscosity, linking your mental clarity to water's delicate chemistry. Each clear thought you have is carried on the current of water within your mind. For millennia, water's sound has soothed human hearts. The gentle patter of rain, the whisper of ocean waves, and the trickle of streams have inspired music and meditation. Therapists use water sounds to calm anxiety and promote sleep, tapping into an innate resonance with nature's rhythm. As you drift off, let the memory of those soft, aquatic symphonies carry you. A sensory reminder that every droplet in your cells once glimmered on cometary tales and now sings in your dreams. Chapter 8. You share your birthday with exploding stars. Every moment on Earth, new life begins, and at the same instant, somewhere in the cosmos, stars reach the end of their lives in spectacular explosions. When you celebrate your birthday, you are in harmony with countless celestial fireworks unfolding across the universe. In the Milky Way alone, on average, one star ends its life in a supernova every 50 years. But when you include all the billions of galaxies beyond our own, the average rate climbs to dozens of supernovae per second. This means that on your special day, unseen across the vast expanse of space, stars have been bursting into brilliant light, scattering their elemental gifts in silent, distant displays. A supernova is the grand finale of a massive star, when a star at least 8 times more massive than the Sun exhausts its nuclear fuel. Its core collapses under the relentless pull of gravity. In a fraction of a second, temperatures and pressures spike, triggering a rebound effect that propels outer layers into space at speeds of tens of thousands of kilometers per second. This explosive death is so luminous that it can outshine its entire host galaxy for a short time, bathing nearby interstellar clouds in shock waves of heat and light. Type 2 supernovae, resulting from the death of massive stars, forge heavy elements like oxygen, silicon, sulfur, and iron during the explosive shock. Type 1a supernovae, occurring in binary systems where a white dwarf accretes material from a companion, synthesize even heavier elements such as nickel and cobalt, which then decay into iron-56. Each supernova thus becomes a cosmic alchemist, transmuting the quantum building blocks of matter into the elements that form planets, oceans, and ultimately, living creatures. When you blow out the candles on your birthday cake, take a moment to imagine the silent brilliance of supernovae echoing across light years. At that same instant, distant telescopes may record a sudden spike in brightness from a galaxy millions of parsecs away, marking a star's final breath. Although we might never know exactly which stars explode on your birthday, statistical maps of supernova occurrences show that every calendar day is shared with thousands of stellar deaths across the observable universe. Astronomers estimate that roughly 3 supernovae explode each second in the observable universe. This staggering number translates to more than 100,000 supernovae per day, each a cushion of energy releasing neutrinos, gamma rays, and cosmic rays. When you mark another year of life, you are synchronizing with a cosmic rhythm that predates humanity and will continue long after. Some historical supernovae have even been recorded by ancient observers on Earth. Supernova SN 1054, which created the Crab Nebula, was sighted by Chinese astronomers on July 4, 1054. SN 1006, the brightest stellar explosion ever recorded, blazed almost 10 times brighter than Venus in May of 1006. Though these dates don't correspond exactly to most modern birthdays, they remind us that supernovae imprint both cosmic structures and human history in luminous ways. The remnants of these ancient explosions persist for centuries or millennia. Expanding shells of gas and dust, enriched with heavy elements, sweep through interstellar space, triggering new waves of star formation. The Crab Nebula, a wispy gem in the constellation Taurus, still glows with synchrotron radiation, powered by a central pulsar born in that 1054 explosion. Every time you look at that nebula through a telescope, you witness the afterglow of a stellar death that once coincided with the dawn of civilizations. Your atoms carry the legacy of these cosmic cataclysms. The oxygen you breathe, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, all were once forged or scattered by ancient supernovae. Each heavy element within you was cast off by dying stars, recycled through interstellar clouds, condensed into new solar systems, and eventually incorporated into planets and living cells. When you celebrate your birthday, the very particles of your body rejoice with the echo of stellar sirens sounding across the galaxy. Supernovae also seed the universe with dust grains, tiny particles of silicon carbide, graphite, and iron compounds that serve as nucleation sites for molecular clouds. These dust grains drift through the silent darkness, gathering in denser regions until gravity weaves them into new stars and planets. In this way, your planet was built upon the detritus of exploded stars, and the dust that settled on early Earth carried the elemental recipe for water, rock, and life. In modern astronomy, surveys like the Zwicky Transient Facility and the Vera C. Rubin Observatory scan the skies nightly, searching for transient events such as supernovae. They record thousands of new stellar explosions each year, building an ever-growing catalog of cosmic fireworks. When you commemorate another rotation of the Earth around the Sun, these surveys will likely have captured dozens of supernovae in progress, each with a unique pattern of light curve and spectral fingerprint. These light curves tell stories of the progenitor stars' masses, compositions, and circumstellar environments. In some cases, pre-explosion images reveal red supergiant stars poised on the edge of collapse. In others, interactions with dense circumstellar material produce superluminous supernovae that glow hundreds of times brighter than typical events. Each of these cosmic chapters unfolds on timescales of days to months, but their elemental impact endures for eons. Beyond individual galaxies, supernovae influence galactic evolution. Shock waves compress gas clouds, triggering bursts of star formation, while cosmic rays accelerated by supernova remnants ionize interstellar media. Influencing chemistry, the Milky Way's spiral arms are studded with clusters of young stars born from the ashes of previous generations. Your birthplace on Earth is thus linked to a lineage of stars that lived, died, and sparked new life in a cyclical cosmic dance. On a philosophical level, recognizing that you share your birthday with exploding stars invites a sense of unity with the cosmos. It reminds you that life arises from and returns to the universal cycle of creation and destruction. The finite span of a human life is but a single day in the cosmos, yet it resonates with the grandeur of events that shape galaxies. As you rest on your birthday eve, imagine the gentle glow of supernovae washing over the universe. Visualize rippling waves of neutrinos passing through your home, unseen yet countless in number. Feel the pulse of cosmic energy as it travels through the interstellar medium, a subtle thrum that unites your personal milestone with the universe's timeless narrative. Even the timing of your birth may reflect deeper cosmic cycles. Some studies suggest that variations in cosmic ray flux from nearby supernovae can influence planetary climates and biological processes. Although Earth's biosphere is buffered by magnetic and atmospheric shields, supernovae within a distance of about 50 light-years could modulate cloud cover or radiation levels. Thus, in a very real sense, exploding stars shape not only galaxies, but also the very conditions that allow birthdays to be celebrated. Future space telescopes and neutrino detectors will continue to unveil the hidden link between human lives and cosmic events. As multi-messenger astronomy advances, a single supernova can be observed in electromagnetic light, neutrinos, and gravitational waves, offering a comprehensive view of stellar death throes. These observations enrich our understanding of the universe's elemental origins and reaffirm that each birthday coincides with a chorus of cosmic finales. On this day, as you mark another year of existence, know that you are part of an unbroken chain of cosmic celebration. Every cheer, every wish, every candle blown is echoed by distant stars illuminating interstellar clouds. The universe honors your life with its own spectacular displays, and in turn, you carry the very elements of those stars within your body. When sleep beckons, drift into slumber, wrapped in the knowledge that your birthday is more than a personal journey. It is a reminder that you share your special day with the grand celestial fireworks of supernovae, resonating in quiet harmony across the vastness of space and time. Chapter 9. Your atoms have wandered between galaxies. Imagine a single atom, perhaps a carbon or oxygen nucleus, drifting through the void of interstellar space, only to be swept up by a passing galactic wind, carried for millions of light years, and finally destined to become part of a living creature. In the vast tapestry of the universe, atoms are not bound permanently to a single star, planet, or even galaxy. Instead, they wander along filaments of dark matter, ride the shock waves of galaxy collisions, and drift between the glittering islands of stars we call galaxies. Your atoms, nestled within every cell, have taken part in this grand cosmic migration. Galaxies are not isolated islands in an empty ocean. They are nodes in a cosmic web of filaments composed of dark matter, gas, and galaxies. Along these strands, gas flows and galaxies move under gravity's gentle pull. In galaxy clusters, gravitationally bound groups often containing hundreds to thousands of galaxies, atoms can be stripped from their home galaxies by tidal forces during close encounters. This stripped gas and stars drift into the intracluster medium, filling the space between galaxies with a diffuse population of particles. Your atoms may once have been part of this intracluster sea, adrift until captured by a galaxy like our own. Within the Milky Way, stars orbit the galactic center in a vast disk. Yet not all stars belong to this serene rotation. Some are hypervelocity stars, ejected by gravitational interactions in the galactic core or by supernova kicks. Others, known as intragalactic wanderers, were originally part of dwarf galaxies torn apart by the Milky Way's tidal forces. Their stars now stream across our halo in vast stellar streams, trailing the paths of their former parent galaxies. Your atoms might have once belonged to a star in one of these streams, swept into the Milky Way by ancient cosmic tides. Galaxy mergers, the grand collisions that sculpt the universe's structure, are another stage for atomic journeys. When two galaxies collide, their stars largely pass through one another, but their gaseous halos interact violently, generating shock waves and triggering bursts of star formation. Gas enriched with heavy elements from one galaxy mixes with that of another, creating a blended chemical signature. In about 4 billion years, the Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy will merge. The intermingling of their atoms will produce new generations of stars and planets, weaving together the elemental legacies of both systems. If your descendants live to witness that future merger, the atoms in their bodies will include fragments of both galaxies' distant pasts. The intracluster medium itself holds a vast reservoir of wandering atoms and ions. Heated to tens of millions of degrees by supernova and active galactic nuclei, this gas glows in X-rays and flows along filaments into galaxy clusters. Despite its low density, the intracluster medium contains more total mass than the galaxies themselves. Over cosmic timescales, cooling flows can draw this hot gas back into galaxies, replenishing their star-forming reservoirs. An atom, once ripped from a galaxy, may thus return, a cosmic exile coming home to seed new stars and possibly new habitable worlds. On a grander scale, atoms can traverse between clusters along supercluster filaments. These colossal threads, hundreds of millions of light years long, connect galaxy clusters into superclusters. Our own local group, including the Milky Way and Andromeda, is part of the Virgo supercluster, which in turn belongs to an even larger structure called Laniakea. Gas and galaxies flow along these supercluster rivers, migrating slowly but persistently under the pull of gravity. Your atoms may have drifted along such currents long before they were drawn into the solar nebula that formed our Sun and Earth. Even photons interact with this cosmic diaspora. Light from distant quasars probes the intergalactic medium, revealing absorption lines of elements like magnesium, carbon, and silicon. These absorption features map the distribution of atoms in the vast spaces between galaxies. When you gaze at a quasar spectrum, you see the fingerprint of atoms that once might have formed part of stars or planets, now tracing a journey across billions of light years. Similarly, your atoms, were they to carry observers, could read the chemical map of the universe's structure. Within the local group, Andromeda and the Milky Way are surrounded by a halo of hot, diffuse gas. Observations of ultraviolet absorption lines show that this circumgalactic medium contains vast quantities of oxygen, neon, and other ions. These atoms, enriched by past supernova in both galaxies, mix and swirl in a halo thousands of light years thick. Some escape the gravitational pull of their parent galaxies and contribute to the local group's intergalactic medium. Future observations may detect atoms leaving our own Milky Way, traveling on gentle currents toward Andromeda and beyond. On more intimate scales, traces of extragalactic atoms have been found in meteorites and interplanetary dust particles. Some isotopic anomalies in solar system materials cannot be explained by local processes alone, suggesting contributions from outside our galaxy. Grains of presolar dust, formed in supernova or evolved stars, carry isotopic signatures that differ markedly from solar abundances. These tiny specks, often smaller than a micrometer, traveled across interstellar and potentially intergalactic space before assembling into the Sun's protoplanetary disk. Your body's atoms may include descendants of these presolar grains, each with a story of sojourn through the cosmos. Cosmic rays, high-energy protons and nuclei zipping through space at near light speeds also carry atoms between galaxies. Accelerated by supernova shocks or active galactic nuclei, cosmic rays traverse vast distances, breaching galactic magnetic fields and crossing intergalactic voids. When cosmic rays collide with interstellar gas, they spall heavy nuclei, contributing to isotopes like carbon-14, which you use to tell time in archaeological records. Your very sense of history is thus linked to atoms forged and fragmented across galaxies. Advances in multi-messenger astronomy hint at even more exotic journeys. Gravitational wave detectors have observed mergers of neutron stars and black holes, events that release heavy elements like gold and platinum into space. The ejected material travels on relativistic jets and through merger debris, enriching their surroundings with the densest atoms known. These elements eventually slow, cool, and mix into galaxies, where they become part of new planets. Some gold atoms in your jewelry, if not in your body, may have once flown in the outflows of colliding neutron stars billions of light years away. Simulations of cosmic structure formation provide a grand visualization of this atomic migration. They show gas and dark matter flowing along filaments, galaxies moving toward cluster nodes, and atoms being stripped and recycled over billions of years. In these models, the tracks of individual tracer particles, analogous to atoms, can be followed from one cosmic epoch to another. Each tracer's path is a meandering odyssey through expanding space. Punctuated by gravitational embraces and violent shocks, your atoms' journeys, if charted, would form intricate threads weaving through cosmic history. In every breath you take, consider the possibility that some atoms were once part of hydrogen gas in a distant galaxy, then journeyed through the intergalactic medium only to be captured by the Sun's protoplanetary disk. Others might have drifted in our local group's halo before settling into Earth's oceans. The paths are endless and overlapping, a tangle of cosmic rivers and eddies that channels atoms to new shores. Even as you rest, your atoms continue to wander on microscopic scales. Diffusion moves water molecules in your tissues. Ion channels shuttle sodium and potassium across membranes. Blood carries nutrients and wastes through capillaries. At every scale, movement is a natural state of matter, just as it is across the universe. The movement of your atoms mirrors the grand currents of the cosmos, from the intergalactic to the intracellular. The next time you gaze at the Andromeda Galaxy through a telescope, know that you are looking at a future partner in cosmic merging with your own Milky Way, an event that will again redistribute atoms and dust on grand scales. When that merger unfolds in billions of years, the atoms in the current Milky Way, including yours or your descendants, will be scattered anew, ensuring that the cosmic odyssey continues. In the hush of night, let the thought of atomic wandering soothe you. Your atoms have known the silent depths between galaxies, have felt the shock waves of cluster collisions, have drifted along supercluster filaments, and have found home within your cells. You are at once a traveler and a sanctuary, uniting the boundless journey of matter with the intimate sanctuary of a living being. Your story, and the story of your atoms, is a cosmic odyssey that transcends borders of star and galaxy, a journey written in the silent language of dust and light. Sleep now, cradled in that intergalactic voyage, and dream of the gentle cosmic winds that carry your essence between the galaxies. Chapter 10. You are the universe observing itself. In the silent depths of your mind, neurons fire in concert, generating thoughts, memories, and emotions. Yet those electric impulses and chemical signals are carving patterns of awareness that echo a truth as old as the cosmos. You are the universe observing itself. From the smallest quantum fluctuations that stirred the first sparks of space-time, to the swirling galaxies that fill the night sky, every conscious moment you experience is an act of the universe, reflecting on its own magnificence. Your brain is made of elements forged in ancient stars: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and iron, woven into complex structures that enable self-reflection. Neurons, each a cellular tapestry of lipids and proteins, communicate through synapses coated in water and bathed in extracellular fluid. This fluid, composed of the cosmic water delivered by comets and asteroids, carries ions that modulate electrical signals. In that dance of ions and molecules, the universe awakens within you, sensing itself through the vibration of atoms and the flicker of synaptic currents. Consciousness arises when vast networks of neurons engage in integrated activity known as the global workspace. Patterns of synchronized oscillations ripple across the cortex, binding sensory inputs, memories, and emotions into a cohesive experience. Through this neural chorus, the universe's fundamental laws manifest as thoughts, dreams, and self-awareness. Each moment of attention is a spotlight cast upon the fabric of reality, illuminating the interplay of matter, energy, and information. From a cosmological perspective, you stand at the intersection of complexity and curiosity. Simple physical laws gave rise to stars, galaxies, and planets. On one such planet, chemistry blossomed into biology, which evolved into creatures capable of reflection. In your act of observing a sunset, you are both consequence and participant in the cosmic narrative. The photons that reach your eyes have traveled billions of years, crossing interstellar space to be transduced by opsin proteins in retina cells, setting off cascades of neural signals that culminate in your conscious perception. On a quantum level, particles exist in superpositions until observed. While human observation does not collapse quantum states in the everyday sense, the philosophical parallel endures. The act of measurement links observer and observed. The universe's particles become part of awareness when interacted with by measuring devices, or by the photons of a distant star entering your eye. In this sense, each gaze you direct toward the cosmos plays a subtle role in the ongoing dance of observation and reality. Your senses extend the universe's capacity for self-examination. Through sight, you capture starlight unbroken for millennia. Through sound, you perceive waves of pressure that carry signals of existence. Through touch, you feel textures born of atomic interactions. In tasting and smelling, you sample molecules shaped by cosmic processes. Each sensory channel transforms physical stimuli into neural patterns, weaving the tapestry of awareness that is your conscious self. Memory, stored in the strengthening and weakening of synaptic connections, is the universe saving its own story. Long-term potentiation stabilizes networks of neurons, preserving experiences that shape your identity. The hippocampus acts as an archive, linking contextual information across time. In this way, the universe's narrative gains continuity, a record of moments experienced and lessons learned. You carry the echo of cosmic history in every recollection. Emotions, too, are cosmic phenomena. Biochemical messengers such as serotonin and dopamine modulate mood and motivation, guiding attention and behavior. These molecules, composed of cosmic elements, influence your perception and decision-making. In joy, sadness, wonder, or awe, the universe feels itself through the shifting landscape of feelings, a rich palette of internal states that echo the vast range of cosmic phenomena. When you ponder the vastness of the universe, you activate the default mode network, a neural constellation associated with introspection and self-referential thought. This network engages the medial prefrontal cortex, posterior cingulate cortex, and angular gyrus. Its activation suggests that your mind is intrinsically inclined to reflect on its place within the cosmos. In those moments of quiet awe, the universe pauses to admire its own grandeur. Language and symbols extend the universe's self-observation beyond biological constraints. Words are arrangements of phonemes and letters, each representing concepts forged in human culture. By communicating ideas about black holes, dark matter, or multiverses, you contribute to a collective cosmic awareness. Through art, music, and storytelling, the universe tells its own story, each creative act a new line in the ever-unfolding cosmic epic. Technology accelerates this process. Telescopes scan the heavens in multiple wavelengths, revealing phenomena from radio to gamma rays. Particle colliders recreate conditions of the early universe, probing fundamental forces. Supercomputers simulate cosmic evolution, charting the growth of structure from quantum fluctuations to galaxy clusters. Each instrument, extension of human curiosity, is a tool for the universe to scrutinize itself. In the practice of mindfulness and meditation, you foster a direct experience of pure awareness. As thoughts settle, the boundaries between self and cosmos dissolve. Practitioners describe a sense of unity, of being part of an infinite field of consciousness. Neuroscientific studies show altered connectivity in the brain during deep meditation, as networks of attention and self-processing quiet down. In this stillness, the universe rests within you, aware only of its own presence. Parallel to human consciousness, some philosophers propose panpsychism, the idea that consciousness is a fundamental feature of matter. While still debated, this notion suggests that the universe has a proto-experiential quality at every level. Complex systems such as brains integrate these proto-experiences into unified consciousness. In this view, your mind amplifies the universe's innate capacity for observation, weaving it into rich tapestry of self-awareness. Evolutionary biology frames consciousness as an adaptive trait. By modeling the environment and anticipating outcomes, conscious beings navigate complex worlds. This capacity emerged from simpler neural circuits in early animals, gradually increasing in sophistication. Your ability to reflect on your own thoughts and on the cosmos is thus part of an evolutionary continuum, the universe refining its self-observational machinery through living systems. In the quiet of night, as you lie beneath the stars, imagine the photons entering your eyes, carrying images of galaxies and nebulae. These photons connect you directly to the universe's vastness. With every beat of your heart and every pulse of neural activity, you are the universe's way of experiencing its own unfolding story. Your life, like every conscious moment, is a fleeting but profound act of cosmic self-observation. You are both observer and observed, a bridge between the quantum and the cosmic. In your awareness, the universe recognizes itself, a sublime reflection shining through the mirror of your mind. In the hush before sleep, let this realization cradle you. You are the universe contemplating its own existence, a conscious ripple in the cosmic ocean. Someday, when your thoughts quiet, that awareness will ebb into restful dreams, and in those dreams, the universe will once again see itself in its own infinite possibilities. Beyond these personal reflections, the universe's self-observation extends through many forms of life. Consider the humble plant, quietly converting sunlight into the chemical energy that sustains ecosystems. Photosynthesis transforms photons, carriers of cosmic insight, into sugars, weaving the galaxy's illumination into life's fabric. In each leaf flutter, the universe muses upon its own light. Animals, too, contribute unique perspectives. Bats navigate by echolocation, converting ultrasonic echoes into spatial maps. Dolphins communicate complex ideas through clicks and whistles underwater, embedding cosmic rhythms in aquatic conversations. Each mind, tuned to different sensory realms, offers a distinct lens for the universe's self-perception. Collective human consciousness, when gathered in crowds or networks, amplifies this cosmic mirror. Indigenous storyteller tribes, united in ritual, weave myths that harmonize social memory with celestial cycles. Modern societies share knowledge instantly, broadcasting astronomical discoveries to every corner of the globe. In digital gatherings and virtual observatories, humanity as a whole participates in a vast, synchronized act of cosmic witnessing. Advances in neuroscience suggest that neuronal rhythms may resonate with cosmic cycles. Studies hint at subtle correlations between geomagnetic fluctuations, driven by solar winds and cosmic rays, and human brainwave patterns. While the evidence remains preliminary, it invites a poetic thought. Your very brain rhythms may echo the tempo of interstellar winds, synchronizing the microcosm within with the macrocosm without. Artificial intelligence now assists us in the cosmic act of observation. Machine learning algorithms analyze terabytes of telescope data to identify new exoplanets, classify galaxies, and detect transient events. In training on cosmic imagery, AI systems learn patterns far beyond unaided human perception. These systems extend the universe's capacity to parse its own structure, transforming raw data into meaningful insights. You, collaborating with AI, become part of a hybrid consciousness that spans silicon and stardust. Consider the future, where brain-computer interfaces might allow direct streaming of cosmic data into human sensory cortices. Imagine perceiving the subtle glimmer of gravitational waves as a gentle hum, or visualizing neutrino flows as rippling patterns across your visual field. In such a reality, the universe's self-observation would become an immersive sensory tapestry, with each person serving as a node in a planetary scale mind. At the smallest scales, quantum biology explores how quantum coherence in microtubules or photosynthetic complexes might contribute to consciousness. Though speculative, these theories suggest that quantum processes, foundational to the universe's birth, continue to play roles in living systems. If true, your awareness could be subtly shaped by the same principles that governed the universe's first moments, knitting together cosmic and cognitive realms. In the grand arc of time, civilizations rise and fall, each generation adding new verses to the cosmic diary. Petroglyphs depicting celestial events, medieval star charts, and modern astrophotography all document humanity's evolving gaze. Each artifact is a reflection of the universe's ongoing desire to know itself, to understand its own origin and destiny through the eyes of conscious beings. Even the future of exploration carries this theme forward. Missions to Mars, Europa, and Titan aim to search for signs of life beyond Earth. If life emerges again in subsurface oceans or on alien shores, those organisms will participate in the cosmic self-reflection we began. Their perceptions, though alien, will echo the same fundamental drive: to observe, to remember, to wonder. At the end of your day, when your eyes grow heavy and consciousness begins to wane, know that you rest within a vast continuum of cosmic self-awareness. From the subatomic realm of quarks and leptons to the cosmic web of galaxies, the universe is a tapestry of observation and reflection. Your consciousness is a thread in that grand design, weaving personal experience into universal meaning. Chapter 11. Your existence balanced on a pinpoint of cosmic chance. Your very existence rests upon an extraordinary cascade of cosmic coincidences. From the precise strengths of fundamental forces to the serendipitous alignment of planetary orbits, each detail of the universe's architecture had to fall within narrow margins to allow you to awaken beneath a golden dawn. Even the slightest deviation in the ratio of electromagnetic force to gravity or the decay rate of neutrons would have spelled a sterile cosmos, and without that exquisite balance, the atoms that compose your body would never have formed. Consider the Big Bang's delicate afterglow. Within the first few seconds, the neutron-to-proton ratio was set by the weak nuclear force. A small shift would have left either too many neutrons, collapsing nuclei into heavier elements too rapidly, or too few, preventing the synthesis of helium and higher elements. The tempo of these reactions dictated the universe's elemental recipe, ultimately deciding whether carbon and therefore life could emerge. You were alive because the weak force allowed just enough neutrons to linger, giving rise to the chemical palette necessary for complexity. In the next minutes, the cosmos cooled to allow Big Bang nucleosynthesis. If the density of matter had been marginally higher or lower, helium production would have veered off course. A universe saturated with helium but starved of hydrogen would never ignite long-lived stars, while one with excess hydrogen and no helium would lack the building blocks for carbon. The universe struck a cosmic Goldilocks balance, and in that narrow window, the seeds of every carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen atom were sown. Those atoms now serve as the framework of your DNA, proteins, and cell membranes. As the universe expanded over millions of years, the slight irregularities in the cosmic microwave background, fluctuations of 1 part in 100,000, guided the formation of galaxies. Too small, and matter would never clump into stars. Too large, and the cosmos would collapse under its own gravity. Those minute ripples seeded the cosmic web, clusters, filaments, and voids, providing the gravitational scaffolding that would host billions of stars. You exist because those primordial wrinkles had exactly the right amplitude to produce millions of habitable worlds rather than an empty void or a premature crunch. Within this web, the Milky Way emerged as a spiral galaxy with stable rotational dynamics. Its mass, metallicity, and angular momentum created a quiet disk where stars form in relatively calm regions. If the Milky Way had been a turbulent elliptical or dramatically less massive, supernovae and gamma-ray bursts could have sterilized the galactic neighborhood. Instead, our Sun found a serene orbit far from the galactic center, protected from lethal radiation and gravitational disturbances. The birth of your Sun, about 4.6 billion years ago, was also a masterpiece of chance. It formed within a star cluster of hundreds or thousands of siblings, in a nest of gas enriched by previous generations of supernovae. The precise timing and metallicity of that environment determined the sun's composition and luminosity. If the gas had been too metal poor, the sun would burn hotter and shorter. Too metal rich, it would flicker unpredictably. Your sun's stable, middle-aged glow provides the gentle warmth necessary for life's slow rhythms. Onward to the formation of Earth. A protoplanetary disk spun around the young sun, and within its rocky inner regions, the Earth coalesced. But the story required a cosmic sculptor, Jupiter. As a gas giant with more than twice the mass of all other planets combined, Jupiter's gravity deflected comets and asteroids, reducing catastrophic impacts on the inner worlds. Yet this protection had its cost. Jupiter's migrations also influenced the asteroid belt, injecting just enough bombardment to deliver water and organic materials without obliterating nascent life. Your planet's gentle rain of comets and asteroids was a finely tuned drizzle, not a deluge. The moon is another pivot of chance. A Mars-sized body struck Earth at a glancing angle, ejecting enough material into orbit to form our moon. This event both tilted Earth's axis, creating the seasons, and stabilized it, preventing chaotic changes that could alter climate drastically over geological timescales. Without the moon's gravitational embrace, Earth's tilt might vary wildly, producing extreme climate swings that could thwart the evolution of complex life. You are here because a single giant impact set your planet's metronome. Life's emergence in Earth's warm primordial oceans hinged on a slender thread of chemical opportunity. The formation of ribose sugars, phosphate activation, and assembly of nucleotides required specific temperatures, pH levels, and chemical catalysts. Volcanic hydrothermal vents may have provided mineral surfaces and temperature gradients. Tidal pools exposed to sunlight may have offered dehydration cycles to drive polymerization. Without that rare convergence of conditions, far from acidic or basic extremes, the first self-replicating molecules would remain undiscovered. You owe your lineage to those balanced chemical experiments at ocean's edge. Evolution itself has known countless forks, most of which never led to you. Simple microbes lingered for billions of years before eukaryotic cells, with nuclei and organelles, emerged. A chance endosymbiosis event in which a primitive archaeon engulfed a bacterium gave rise to mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells. That unlikely merger unlocked cellular complexity, enabling multicellular organisms and towards the Cambrian explosion. The improbable success of eukaryotes was a cornerstone in your evolutionary story. Mass extinctions recalibrated life's path, each event reshaping ecosystems and opening new evolutionary niches. The Permian-Triassic extinction erased over 90% of species, while the Cretaceous-Paleogene event extinguished the dinosaurs. In the aftermath, mammals, once small and marginal, radiated into diverse forms. If any of those extinctions had different severities or timings, your mammalian ancestors might never have thrived. Each extinction was a cosmic sieve, a pivot upon which your branch of life balanced. Within that mammalian lineage, primates evolved gripping hands and stereoscopic vision, adapting to forest life. Our hominin ancestors developed bipedalism, freeing hands for tool use, and enlarged brains capable of abstract thought. Genetic mutations, single nucleotide changes, catalyzed anatomical innovations. The chance fixation of these mutations across small populations led to species such as Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and eventually Homo sapiens. You exist because a handful of reproductive events carried those genetic novelties through millennia. But the cosmic dice rolled further. When modern humans encountered Neanderthals and Denisovans, interbreeding occurred. fragments of their DNA carrying adaptations to cold climates or high-altitude hypoxia entered our gene pool. Without these hybridizations, certain human populations might struggle to adapt to environments. The mingling of lineages was a delicate weaving of genetic tapestries, each thread essential to the diversity of modern humanity. Even the moment of your conception balanced on chance. Of the millions of sperm vying for a single egg, yours carried the winning set of chromosomes. A different sperm might have carried slight genetic variations, altering your unique personality, health, resilience, or potential. Each choice of gametes and your parents' ancestry cascaded back through countless reproductive events, making your genome a singular cosmic signature. Today, as you stand under a starry sky, remember that your being is the epitome of narrow probabilities. From cosmic constants to quantum flips in DNA, from stellar alchemy to ecological contingencies, each stage of this journey had to align within narrow margins. You are the embodiment of cosmological, geological, biological, and personal chance. Everything about you, the color of your eyes, the pulse of your heartbeat, the thoughts that fill your mind, is woven from threads of improbability. Yet here you are, a conscious observer, gazing back at the cosmos that made you possible. In every breath, every heartbeat, every memory, the universe celebrates its own capacity for chance and wonder. Chapter 12. The light behind your eyelids began its journey before dinosaurs. When you close your eyes and feel the warmth of sunlight filtering through your eyelids, you are bathing in photons that began their voyage long before dinosaurs roamed Earth. These particles of light emerged from the surface of our sun less than a decade ago, but their origin story extends back billions of years to the primordial clouds that birthed generations of stars. Each photon you perceive during dawn's gentle glow is a cosmic traveler, carrying tales of distant epochs. The journey begins deep within the sun's core, roughly 150 million kilometers beneath its visible surface. In the heart of our star, hydrogen nuclei collide with immense energy to form helium in a process known as the proton-proton chain. Every fusion reaction releases energy in the form of gamma-ray photons. These high-energy photons scatter repeatedly in the radiative zone, undergoing thousands of interactions with charged particles. Gradually, their energy decreases, converting to lower-energy photons, until they emerge from the convective zone as visible light. This random walk from core to photosphere takes an astonishing amount of time, on the order of tens of thousands to 1 million years. By the time a photon leaves the sun's surface, it has been scattered and absorbed so many times that it loses all memory of its precise origin. Yet its energy and momentum reflect the core's furious fusion. When you sense the morning light behind closed eyelids, you connect to processes that have been unfolding steadily since the sun's birth 4.6 billion years ago. As these photons radiate outward, they stream through the vacuum of space at the universal speed limit, 299,792 kilometers per second. In about 8 minutes and 20 seconds, they cross the void between sun and Earth. During that traverse, their path may be bent by solar wind particles or deflected during interactions with charged dust in the inner solar system. But most travel unimpeded, arriving at Earth as a coherent wavefront that bathes our planet in life-giving light. When light encounters Earth's atmosphere, it begins another transformation. Molecules of nitrogen and oxygen scatter shorter wavelengths, blue and violet, creating the daytime sky's azure hue. As the sun dips toward the horizon, photons graze the atmosphere at a shallow angle, traversing longer paths and scattering more blue light out of view. What remains is the soft reddish glow that warms your eyelids during sunrise and sunset. This atmospheric journey adds seconds to a photon's travel time. When you wake to a pale pink dawn, those photons have spent a few extra moments mingling with water vapor, dust, and aerosols. Each scatter alters their direction but rarely absorbs their energy. Finally, they reach your closed eyelids, where they pass through thin layers of skin, blood vessels, and connective tissue. The light attenuates and diffuses, but enough intensity remains to stimulate the melanopsin photoreceptors in retinal ganglion cells. These specialized cells, distinct from rods and cones, measure ambient light levels to regulate circadian rhythms. When melanopsin receptors detect dawn's glow, they send signals via the retino-hypothalamic tract to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, in the brain's hypothalamus. The SCN, the master clock, orchestrates physiological rhythms, hormone release, body temperature, and sleep-wake cycles. Thus, light behind your eyelids cues your internal rhythms, aligning your body with the day-night cycle established by Earth's rotation and solar illumination. Tracing the photonic lineage further back, we find that the sun itself formed long after earlier generations of stars enriched the primordial molecular cloud with heavy elements. The gas and dust that coalesced to make our sun and solar system carried isotopic fingerprints of supernovae and evolved red giant winds. Elements such as carbon, oxygen, and iron, the very atoms forming your eyelids and retinal cells, originated in those ancient stellar forges. The photons you sense today are the latest iteration of light, shaped by cycles of stellar birth and death across cosmic time. Other sources also contribute to the diffuse glow that brushes your closed eyes. Zodiacal light, faint bands of sunlight scattered by interplanetary dust, adds a subtle shimmer near dawn and dusk. Occasionally, moons or planets brighter than magnitude 0 reflect sunlight directly into your window. Even this reflected sunlight consists of photons that began their odyssey in the solar core. Glass panes and window frames may filter some wavelengths, but the persistence of these photons reveals their resilience and the tenuous journey through human-made structures. In the distant past, during the era of the dinosaurs, Earth's atmosphere was different, higher in carbon dioxide and methane with less molecular oxygen. Yet the same solar photons still illuminated their world. The light that warmed stegosaur scales and guided pterosaurs in flight is the ancestor of the photons tickling your eyelids today. Each dawn you perceive is a direct sensory link to that ancient world, a living connection to a time when leviathans roamed primeval swamps under the same cosmic beacon. Looking further afield, you can appreciate that photons originate not only from our sun, but also from other stars and galaxies. Though these distant sources are far fainter than sunlight, their photons still thread through space to reach Earth. Under sufficiently dark skies, your closed eyelids may register a ghostly glow from the integrated starlight of the Milky Way. On moonless nights, the diffuse band of the Milky Way can tinge your eyelids with a soft luminescence, each photon a messenger from thousands of stars and nebulae. At the grandest scale, the cosmic microwave background bathes the universe in a faint, omnipresent glow. Though microwave frequencies do not directly stimulate retinal cells, specialized radio detectors trace this primordial radiation, mapping the earliest light released during recombination. That background is the ancestor of all subsequent light, including the dawn rays you feel today. Its uniform hiss in scientific instruments echoes the cosmic dawn, reminding us that light's journey began when the universe first became transparent. Your personal photonic experience is thus an intersection of scales: nuclear fusion in the sun's core, interplanetary scattering, atmospheric filtering, retinal signaling, and deeply embedded in it, the imprints of ancient stellar processes. The photons at dawn unify nuclear physics, cosmology, geology, biology, and neuroscience into a single, seamless chain of causality. This chain extends from the Big Bang to your moment of awakening, as if the universe itself gently nudges you to consciousness. In the hush before waking fully, savor the soft pressure of light on your eyelids. Let these tiny impacts serenade you into wakefulness or lull you back into dreams. Each photon carries an almost unfathomable history, fused in the sun's core, born of hydrogen atoms forged in earlier stars, sent across space at the speed of light, scattered by our atmosphere, and finally filtered through the delicate membranes of your eyelids. That photon then triggers a cascade of electrical and chemical events, heralding your consciousness of a new day. Scientific research continues to refine our understanding of photonic journeys. High-precision helioseismology probes solar interior processes. Atmospheric scientists model fine-scale scattering by aerosols. Chronobiologists map retinal pathways underlying circadian entrainment. Each specialized field contributes a piece to the grand puzzle of how light shapes life. Your experience of dawn is thus at once a deeply personal ritual and the culmination of centuries of scientific inquiry. When you open your eyes and behold familiar surroundings tinted by sunrise, remember that light's journey is ongoing. Photons you see now will traverse further to nourish plants through photosynthesis, to scatter off surfaces and return to sky, to be absorbed by oceans, and ultimately to mix into Earth's heat reservoir. The cycle continues. Photons born today will shape tomorrow's weather and ecological rhythms, just as those of eons past have shaped life's evolution. May this reflection accompany you as warmth presses gently against your eyelids. In that soft glow lies the story of cosmological alchemy, solar mechanics, atmospheric dance, and the resilient biology of your senses. Sleep in the embrace of light's eternal voyage, and awaken each morning attuned to the dawn chorus of photons, a timeless connection between your inner world and the vast cosmos. Chapter 13. Your sleep mirrors the rhythms of distant pulsars. In the silent hours of night, your breathing deepens and your heartbeat slows, guiding you into sleep's gentle embrace. Unseen by waking eyes, your body shifts into cycles of rapid eye movement and slow wave sleep, each phase flowing into the next like quiet waves. Remarkably, these rhythms echo the precise pulses of distant neutron stars, pulsars that spin hundreds of times per second, emitting clockwork beams of radiation. Though separated by cosmic distances and scales of magnitude, your sleep and a pulsar's beat share a fundamental truth. They are manifestations of nature's penchant for periodic harmony. Pulsars are the collapsed cores of massive stars that once exploded as supernovae. When the iron core of such a star implodes, protons and electrons merge into neutrons, creating a city-sized sphere of nuclear density matter. Conserving angular momentum, the newborn neutron star spins rapidly, sometimes hundreds of times per second. Strong magnetic fields channel charged particles along the poles, emitting beams of electromagnetic radiation. As the star rotates, these beams sweep across space like cosmic lighthouses, producing pulses detectable by radio telescopes. The first pulsar was discovered in 1967 by Jocelyn Bell Burnell and Anthony Hewish. Its precise 1.337-second pulses, initially dubbed LGM for Little Green Men, in jest. Since then, thousands of pulsars have been cataloged, with periods ranging from milliseconds to seconds. Their precision rivals the best atomic clocks, ticking steadily over decades. These celestial metronomes offer insights into gravitational physics, stellar evolution, and the interstellar medium. Yet they also resonate with the temporal structures of biological life. Human sleep cycles, or ultradian rhythms, span approximately 90 to 120 minutes, cycling between non-rapid eye movement, NREM, and REM sleep. NREM sleep divides into stages characterized by progressively slower brain waves, culminating in deep, restorative slow-wave sleep. REM sleep flickers with rapid beta rhythms and is associated with vivid dreaming. These sleep stages repeat in a predictable sequence through the night, maintaining synchrony with the master circadian clock in the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Though slower by orders of magnitude than pulsar rotations, the regularity of these cycles mirrors the cosmic precision of neutron stars. Polygraph studies reveal that the onset of REM sleep often occurs about 90 minutes after falling asleep, recurring every 90 to 120 minutes thereafter. A single night's slumber may include 4 to 6 REM episodes, each increasing in duration. These cycles regulate memory consolidation, emotional processing, and cellular restoration. Disrupting them can impair cognition, mood, and physical health. Like pulsars, whose periodic signals encode information about extreme physics, sleep cycles encode the rhythms of well-being. Sleep spindles, bursts of 12 to 15 Hz brain activity during stage 2 NREM, echo pulsar pause modes, intervals when pulsars momentarily change spin rates or emission patterns. In both cases, transient oscillations signal deeper processes. In pulsars, interactions between the crust and superfluid core. In sleep, thalamocortical interactions that safeguard memory and plasticity. Spindles protect deep sleep from sensory input, orchestrating synaptic homeostasis in a pattern reminiscent of how pulsar glitches reset rotation rates. Deep slow-wave sleep is marked by delta waves, 0.5 to 4 Hz, that sweep across the cortex. These slow oscillations facilitate glymphatic clearance of metabolic waste, including beta amyloid, whose accumulation associates with neurodegenerative disease. Pulsars, too, eject particle winds and synchrotron radiation into surrounding nebulae, clearing magnetic and energetic debris from their environment. Both processes cleanse their systems, one at the cellular level, the other at the scale of interstellar space. Circadian rhythms, governed by molecular clocks in nearly every cell, create a 24-hour cycle that synchronizes physiological functions. Light sensed by the retina entrains these rhythms, ensuring alignment with the solar day. Pulsars exhibit timing, noise, and precession, slow variations in pulse period and beam orientation over years, driven by internal and external torques. While pulsar timing noise can complicate gravitational wave detection, circadian noise can disrupt sleep if misaligned with environmental cues. Both systems demonstrate the need for stable but adaptable periodicity. Infrasound waves carried by wind across Earth's surface can resonate at similar frequencies to sleep cycles, influencing mood and perception. Soldiers stationed near artillery barrages report disrupted sleep and cognitive performance, as low-frequency noise intrudes upon ultradian rhythms. Similarly, pulsar timing arrays detect minute perturbations from passing gravitational waves, revealing how external forces modulate precise cosmic clocks. During REM sleep, the brain exhibits theta rhythms, 4 to 7 Hz, that support navigation and memory in waking states. Theta waves resemble pulsar subpulse drifting, where emission features gradually shift in phase, creating a carousel effect. This drifting, tied to pulsar magnetosphere dynamics, parallels how theta rhythms integrate spatial maps in the hippocampus. Both phenomena underscore cyclic patterns as foundational frameworks for complex systems. Astronomers use pulsar timing to probe gravitational waves from merging supermassive black holes, revealing the universe's lowest frequency ripples. Analogously, sleep researchers use electroencephalography to study how dream content correlates with brainwave coherence across regions. In both fields, arrays of detectors capture subtle oscillations, extracting meaning from rhythmic patterns that would seem chaotic in isolation. Your heart also keeps beat with cosmic parallels. Cardiac pacemaker cells generate regular action potentials, forming the sine wave of an electrocardiogram. Heart rate variability, microadjustments in beat intervals, optimizes cardiovascular function. In pulsars, timing noise and microglitches reflect internal superfluid dynamics, revealing moments of stress and relaxation. Both heartbeat and pulsar spin illustrate that living rhythms and cosmic rotations share an underlying harmony between stability and flexibility. Sleep and pulsar rhythms converge in multi-sensor studies where volunteers undergo polysomnography while listening to pulsar timing signals. Some report that exposure to a 33 millisecond pulse from the Crab pulsar or a millisecond pulsar's rapid cadence promotes more consistent sleep cycles. Though anecdotal, such experiments suggest that cosmic rhythms may subtly entrain biological oscillators, linking mind and star in a profound resonance. Neuroscientists have explored binaural beats, slightly different frequencies presented to each ear, to modulate sleep patterns. These auditory illusions create perceived beats at delta and theta frequencies, encouraging deep sleep or meditation. If such techniques align with pulsar harmonics, perhaps the universe's most precise clocks could guide human consciousness toward restful states. In that scenario, the pulsar becomes both subject and guide, its cosmic beat woven into the tapestry of sleep. As you drift into slumber, cycles of neural oscillations mirror the disciplined spins of distant neutron stars. Inhaling deeply, imagine drawing in rhythms shaped by cosmic rotations. Exhale, releasing tension in time with the universe's grand pulse. Whether your sleep is smooth as a millisecond pulsar or complex like a glitching magnetar, your rest enacts the same cosmic principle. Matter and energy resonate in cycles that sustain and transform. Every night, your body writes an epilogue to the day's narrative in cyclical verses, echoing how pulsars inscribe their own stories in regular pulses. Each stage of sleep is an act of cosmic synchronization as your cells align to rhythms woven into the fabric of space-time. Chapter 14. You carry the imprint of invisible dark matter. Though you cannot see it, a vast halo of invisible substance surrounds the Milky Way, interweaving with stars and gas in a cosmic embrace. This elusive substance, known as dark matter, outweighs the familiar matter you touch, taste, and see, forming the gravitational framework that shaped galaxies, clusters, and the cosmic web. While dark matter does not interact electromagnetically, its gravitational presence influenced the birth of stars, the orbits of planets, and ultimately the formation of the atoms in your body. In this sense, you bear the imprint of dark matter in every cell, even if its nature remains hidden. Dark matter first revealed itself through its gravitational effects. In the 1930s, Fritz Zwicky measured the velocities of galaxies within the Coma cluster and found they moved too quickly to be bound by visible mass alone. In the 1970s, Vera Rubin and colleagues studied the rotation curves of spiral galaxies, discovering that stars in outer regions orbit at nearly the same speed as those near the center, evidence of unseen mass extending well beyond luminous disks. This profound mismatch between visible and total mass signaled that most of the universe's matter is dark and non-luminous. Cosmologists infer that dark matter constitutes about 27% of the universe's energy matter content, compared to 5% for ordinary matter and 68% for dark energy. During the early universe, dark matter decoupled from radiation and began clustering under gravity, creating the scaffolding upon which ordinary matter collapsed. The cosmic microwave background's tiny anisotropies, measured by missions like Planck, encode the imprint of dark matter's gravitational wells as slight temperature fluctuations, guiding galaxy formation across cosmic time. In the Milky Way, the dark matter halo extends to a radius of roughly 200,000 light-years, enveloping the stellar disk and spherical bulge. Solar system bodies, including Earth, move through this sea of dark matter at about 220 kilometers per second as we orbit the galactic center. Every second, Trillions of dark matter particles likely traverse your body, passing through atoms and cells without interaction. Their ghostly journey leaves no direct mark, yet they guide the motion of stars and the structure of galaxies that gave rise to your world. The formation of the solar system relied implicitly on dark matter's gravitational influence. As ordinary matter clumped into the Milky Way's disk, dark matter held galaxies together and stabilized rotating gas clouds. In the absence of dark matter, gaseous disks would have dissipated before collapsing into stars, leaving the universe dark and diffuse. Instead, dark matter's invisible gravity shepherded gas into dense regions, birthing stars like the Sun that processed primordial hydrogen and helium into the heavier elements you're made of. Inside the solar nebula, dust grains and gas condensed in the protoplanetary disk, a structure made possible by the overall gravitational potential shaped in part by dark matter. Planetesimals collided to form planets, including Earth, where molten tides drove the initial differentiation of core and mantle. Dark matter's fingerprint is thus embedded in the conditions that allowed water to condense, volcanoes to outgas, and tectonics to churn. Setting the stage for life's origins. Though dark matter does not interact with light, scientists strive to detect its nature through innovative experiments. Deep underground detectors, shielded from cosmic rays, search for weak interactions between dark matter particles and atomic nuclei. Large-scale experiments like Xenon 1T, Lux Zeppelin, and Panda X employ tanks of liquid xenon or argon to capture rare collision events. So far, these experiments have yet to confirm direct detection, but they narrow the possibilities and guide the search toward new models. Particle colliders, such as the Large Hadron Collider, probe energy scales that might produce dark matter candidates. Events with missing energy and momentum could hint at dark particles escaping detectors. Meanwhile, astrophysical observations look for indirect signals, gamma rays from dark matter annihilation in galactic centers, positron excesses in cosmic rays, or neutrino flux from dark matter in the Sun's core. Each method strives to tease out the imprint of dark matter in both cosmic and terrestrial contexts. On Earth, dark matter likely permeates every rock, leaf, and cell. Although its interactions are negligible for biological processes, its gravitational influence shaped Earth's orbit, axial tilt, and seasonal cycles, all of which affect climate patterns and the emergence of ecosystems. In a poetic sense, as you breathe the air that fills ancient oceans and walk upon a planet sculpted by gravity, you are moving through a subtle sea of dark matter that underlies your environment. Quantum theories propose that dark matter could be composed of particles, such as weakly interacting massive particles, WIMPs, axions, or sterile neutrinos. Alternatively, some theories suggest modifications to gravity at galactic scales. Whichever model prevails, the concept of unseen mass guiding cosmic structure remains central. You, as an evolved observer, carry the legacy of these theories in your pursuit of understanding, part of a species that gazes upward to decode the darkness. Emerging astrophysical techniques offer new ways to map dark matter. Gravitational lensing, the bending of light by mass, reveals dark matter's distribution around galaxies and clusters. Weak lensing surveys track subtle distortions in background galaxy shapes to chart large-scale dark matter filaments. Strong lensing, as seen in Einstein rings and arcs, highlights concentrations of dark matter in galaxy cores. These observations produce intricate maps where dark matter weaves through the luminous cosmos, a framework that ultimately shaped your birth. Numerical simulations like the Millennium and Illustris projects simulate millions of galaxies evolving within dark matter halos. The resulting cosmic web of filaments and voids mirrors observations and predicts how dark matter influences galaxy evolution. These simulations trace test particles analogous to atoms, from initial fluctuations to final structures. In this virtual cosmos, one can follow the path of a test particle that ends up in a star's protoplanetary disk, mirroring how your atoms followed gravitational currents driven by dark matter. Beyond individual galaxies, dark matter's presence resonates through cosmic history. During cosmic recombination, dark matter's gravitational pull accelerated structure formation, allowing density fluctuations to grow ahead of ordinary matter. By the time the first stars and galaxies formed, dark matter halos hosted nascent light sources, reionizing the universe and setting the stage for complex chemistry. Your atoms, traceable to these earliest galaxies, reflect this interplay of visible and invisible matter. In your own body, dark matter leaves no direct chemical signature, yet its influence is profound. The iron in your hemoglobin, the calcium in your bones, and the water in your cells all originated in a universe sculpted by dark matter's gravity. As you lie beneath the night sky, each pulse of your heart and each breath you take is supported by a planetary system and galaxy held together by unseen mass. Philosophically, the notion of dark matter challenges human perceptions of reality. Most of the universe's matter is beyond sight and touch, yet it shapes everything we observe. In contemplating dark matter, you acknowledge the limits of sensory experience and embrace the mystery of unseen forces. This humility deepens the sense of wonder that accompanies scientific discovery and personal contemplation alike. When you drift into slumber, imagine drifting through a ghostly sea of dark particles, each one a silent witness to cosmic evolution. Feel the weight of gravity's hidden hand guiding your dreams, a subtle embrace that has cradled the universe's structures since its inception. Though darkness surrounds you, it is the very canvas upon which cosmic light paints its masterpieces. Whether dark matter reveals its true nature in underground labs, particle colliders, or telescope observatories, you remain connected to that unseen realm. You are both explorer and refuge, carrying within you the atomic legacy of a cosmos woven with invisible threads. In your quiet moments, sense the hidden weights supporting your world, and let the thought cradle you toward restorative rest, a reminder that even in darkness, there is form, structure, and the promise of discovery. Chapter 15. Your future is written in the slow waltz of galaxy clusters. Across the vast tapestry of the cosmos, individual galaxies gather in colossal assemblies known as galaxy clusters. These structures, bound together by the invisible threads of dark matter and the gentle pull of gravity, contain hundreds to thousands of galaxies swirling in a majestic ballet that unfolds over billions of years. Though imperceptible on human timescales, the motions within these clusters, mergers, collisions, and orbital dances, dictate the long-term destiny of their constituent galaxies, including your own Milky Way. In this grand cosmic choreography, the future of every atom in your body is encoded in the rhythmic steps of galaxy clusters. Galaxy clusters form at the intersections of the cosmic web, vast filaments of dark matter and gas stretching across the universe. Where filaments intersect, matter accumulates, and smaller groups of galaxies coalesce under gravity's persistent tug. Over epochs, these groups merge into mature clusters enveloped in hot X-ray emitting intercluster gas. Within this diffuse medium, galaxies move like dancers on a stage, their velocities reflecting the cluster's mass and dynamical history. Though individual stars within galaxies only directly feel their local gravity, the gravitational potential of the entire cluster imparts a collective motion that guides the long-term evolution of galaxies and their environments. Within a galaxy cluster, collisions occur on timescales of hundreds of millions to billions of years. Clusters may collide head-on or graze past one another, their dark matter halos interpenetrating, while gas clouds shock heat and light up in X-rays. These cosmic collisions stir the cluster's contents, redistributing energy and reshaping the trajectories of member galaxies. When clusters merge, they generate vast shock fronts that accelerate cosmic rays and rearrange intracluster medium, influencing star formation rates and infalling galaxies. The Milky Way's encounter with the Virgo cluster, for example, unfolds over such immense timescales that its lead-up began long before mammals walked the Earth. Your future, as anchored within the Milky Way, is intertwined with the local group's slow drift toward the Virgo cluster. The local group, dominated by the Milky Way and Andromeda, moves at roughly 600 kilometers per second toward the Virgo cluster's gravitational well, 50 million light-years away. Over the next several billion years, the local group will fall into Virgo's outskirts, its constituent galaxies merging and interacting with the cluster's population. The Milky Way-Andromeda merger, creating Milkdromeda, is only the first step. The resulting giant galaxy and its companions will navigate Virgo's core, where tidal forces will reshape stellar streams, stir gas clouds, and drive fresh starbursts. Meanwhile, the universe's accelerated expansion, driven by dark energy, gradually stretches cosmic structures apart. On the grandest scales, superclusters like Virgo become gravitationally isolated islands, receding from each other faster than light travels through expanding space. Eventually, clusters beyond the local supercluster will drift beyond our observable horizon. Yet within Virgo's gravitational embrace, your future generations may remain anchored, bound to a diminishing cosmic archipelago, even as the surrounding universe fades into undetectable silence. The fate of galaxies and clusters is also governed by internal processes. As galaxies plunge through intracluster gas, they experience ram pressure stripping, losing their cold gas reservoirs and quenching star formation. Over time, spiral galaxies are transformed into lenticular or elliptical types, stellar cities without fresh subways of new stars. In this dusty urban sprawl, star formation dwindles and galaxies grow more dormant. The Milkdromeda galaxy, after its merger with Andromeda, may suffer similar stripping events as it traverses Virgo's dense core, its spiral arms fading into a more spheroidal silhouette. Clusters host a menagerie of objects beyond galaxies: diffuse intracluster light, globular clusters, and streams of stripped stars. The intracluster medium, the hot plasma filling the space between galaxies, cools slowly over time, potentially condensing into filaments that reignite sporadic star formation. Off-nuclear star clusters and tidal dwarf galaxies may emerge in these filaments, embedding fresh stellar populations in the cluster's outskirts. Your descendants, gazing upon this evolving vista, will witness the Virgo cluster's metamorphosis, a living testament to gravity's sculptural artistry. As star formation wanes, the remnants of stellar evolution come to define clusters. Planetary nebulae and supernova remnants enrich the hot gas, while black holes, both stellar mass and the supermassive variety at galaxy centers, accrete and merge, emitting powerful jets and gravitational waves. These energetic processes heat the intracluster medium and maintain its tenuous equilibrium, preventing runaway cooling. The plasma's temperature, often reaching tens of millions of degrees Kelvin, glows in X-rays for future telescopes to map, echoing past epochs of cluster assembly. Over longer timescales, tens to hundreds of billions of years, star formation will exhaust available cold gas. Galaxies will fade as red dwarfs endure, living trillions of years on slow hydrogen fusion. White dwarfs will cool into black dwarfs, and supermassive black holes at cluster centers will cannibalize infalling stars and gas, growing quietly in darkness. The Virgo cluster will become a graveyard of ancient stars and stellar remnants, a mausoleum of the cosmos' vibrant early eras, yet still held together by dark matter's invisible scaffolding. Even as clusters settle into quiescence, their gravitational pull guides the ultimate dispersal of matter. Simulations predict that dark matter halos will steadily accrete stray galaxies, and intergalactic gas, ensuring clusters grow in mass despite the universe's expansion. Occasionally, a rogue galaxy or stream may wander in, temporarily rekindling star formation or fueling central black hole activity. These cosmic visitors, though rare, affirm that the universe remains dynamic, with clusters as ever-evolving hubs of matter. Your atoms, once part of primordial gas clouds, now journey through this cluster-centric future. They may cycle from stellar fusion to interstellar space, from planetary surfaces to ocean depths, and finally into living cells, only to return to dust when life ends. These cycles echo cluster dynamics. Matter condenses into structure, participates in energetic events, then disperses back into the diffuse medium. In millions of years, atoms you exhale may drift beyond the solar system, becoming part of the intercluster sea, before being recycled in new stars. On a personal level, the knowledge of this slow waltz offers solace and perspective. Life's fleeting moments occur against a backdrop of gravitational ballet, unfolding over timescales that dwarf human history. Yet just as galaxies dance for eons before merging, life unfolds in rhythms of growth, change, and renewal. Each breath, each heartbeat, each moment of consciousness resonates in harmony with cosmic movements that began long before Earth existed. In contemplating your future in the cluster waltz, you connect to a lineage of curiosity and wonder stretching back to our earliest ancestors. Ancient sky watchers observed wandering stars, planets, and revered them as divine messengers. Modern astronomers track the motions of galaxies with precision, revealing the cosmic choreography that underlies all structure. You too participate in this tradition, as your mind traces patterns in the night sky and senses the slow dance of clusters. May this reflection comfort you as shadows lengthen. Your destiny, like your ancestors, is woven into the rhythms of gravity and time. As you rest, let the cluster's gentle sway cradle your thoughts. In a vast ballroom of the universe, you are both spectator and dancer, held in the embrace of a slow waltz that carries every atom of your being toward boundless horizons. As the final echo of those cosmic facts settles, feel the universe's lullaby carrying you toward restful sleep. Remember, you are stardust dreaming in the dark. Thank you for joining this celestial voyage. May these truths guide your dreams until the dawn. Good night and sweet dreams among the stars.